Yeah, dude. Start it up.
We're starting up. Welcome to another episode of the Bastard Sermon. These are your hosts.
Cody
Hucker.
Patrick Seda.
And Luke Young. And this week we have on...
Josh Pancake. Woo! Clap for me, Cody.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm
no claps.
I'm in a nice restaurant right now. I don't want to...
You should make a scene.
Very off-putting to the people to the left of me. I don't think that they're
He's in a Perkins, yeah.
If I just start hammering off right now.
Are you at Perkins?
Yeah, dude. But we went to the Sizzler. Yeah, dude. We got some fucking quality Salisbury steaks. Some mixed carrots and peas. She's got the chalky milk, dude. I opted for a Sprite with the good ice. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, the good ice. The crushed ice,
The cubed ice.
The cubed
I
ones.
don't want to distract your thing, but I tried to call 2-3 weeks ago when I missed the podcast. You fucks didn't answer the phone, so I'm happy you answered this time, finally. God damn it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to leave you alone because I'm in a fancy restaurant on my anniversary. I just wanted to be included somehow on my own show.
Yeah,
right.
I hear you.
Well,
your ego lives on.
Let's wave
Yeah,
Cody
my
bye,
ego lives on.
everyone. Let's wave Cody bye and have a good episode without him. Bye, Cody.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
See,
Have a
he's
fun
probably getting
episode.
that Travis
Love ya.
Scott meal down at
Can I-
McDonald's is what he's really doing.
Let me just say, he didn't call the last time at all.
He says he did.
He says a lot of things. Well, anyways, Josh, thanks for coming on, man. It's really good to fucking hang out with you after so long, man.
I know, it's been a while. I'm sorry. I'm kind of a hermit. I don't really do much anymore. Nobody's really doing much anymore.
No, not at all, dude.
We
It's
shouldn't be.
it's like totally normal for me now, almost. You know, just not even doing shit anymore. Like just video games, staying inside, you know, smoking a little bit of here and there, you know.
Yeah, right.
That's
right.
basically it, though.
Sobriety, man.
And just working. I will say, like, I think there's some it's November 3rd, 2020, and I'm pretty sure there's some crazy basketball game going on tonight or something. I don't know what it is. But I remember leaving my house this morning, and the roads were just dead empty. Like, I don't know, were you guys essential workers at all right when the pandemic started?
Yeah, I mean, I work at a bank, so I'm essential.
Mm-hmm.
Very essential. So
Yeah.
I didn't get to take a break at all. I was kind
Me
of
either.
looking for like a little bit of hey, take a 2-month break off work.
Yeah.
A little bit of government chatter. I was kind of hoping, but fortunately, I guess, because there's a lot of people that weren't working. No, I worked throughout the whole thing. The unfortunate part is how the company that I work for handled it. We didn't really have much distancing policy. The building was still kind of full of a lot of people, so it could have been handled better. But now we've gotten to the point where we can work from home every now and then. So today I decided to work from home.
Oh, hell yeah.
Only really because I had Pokemon cards showing up to the front door, so I was like, hey,
Yeah, we got to get into that.
I'm gonna open some cards today.
Yeah, cards are fucking great, man. What? So, like, are you collecting the cards still? I mean, I don't remember collecting those cards since I was like in fucking high school.
So, yes and no. I mean, recently there's been like a big buzz on cards and like a lot of attention on. There's a specific Charizard that's selling for like $900, $800 or some shit. So people are jumping into collecting
Really?
right now. So there's a lot of high dollar cards circulating around right now. So it's a solid investment. I think there has been a lot of buzz recently because Logic just bought a PSA rated 10 1999 holographic Charizard for $223,000. So
Fuck.
Right. So there's some buzz around Pokemon cards. There's some money there. The most expensive single card ever, there's like 40 of them. It's like a $2 million card.
What?
The most expensive collection's like a $2.5 million collection.
Made out of fucking diamonds or something?
No, dude, they're just like paper. It's
Yeah.
just paper. And the most expensive card, it's not even a holographic paper. So it's just literally just like ink on cardboard stock that somebody's going to pay $2 million for.
When the shit was still going, like, started, all the Pokemon cards and that whole like craze, you know. I remember I had a holographic Charizard card at the time. I had 3 really cool cards that I really liked. I had a holographic Japanese Beedrill, which was pretty cool. I had the holographic Charizard, and then I had the Ancient Mew card, which was
From
one
the
of
movie.
Yeah, but which was one of like 3 of them in Cincinnati or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
my parents got that as a whole Christmas gift to me, and I have a fucked up story about what happened to that card. But when I was at Burger King, my stepdad took me there, and I guess they had these like Pokeballs they give out in the And the Burger King
with the gold plates.
With the gold plates in
I
it.
know
the
exactly
Pokeballs.
what you mean. I had a fuckload of those.
I had the Poliwhirl one. Those things were sick.
Yeah, they were super cool. And
I have the holographic stone one from going to the movie, but keep going.
That's pretty cool. But when I was there was all the kids there trying to trade cards and Pokemon battle. My stepdad was there with me. He probably felt super weird being around a bunch of kids playing this shit. But some kid tried to steal the card from me. And my stepdad grabbed his hand. I never sold it, by the way. I don't know what happened to my collection. But when I had the Mew card, it came with like Pokemon 2000, the like comic book, which was like all color and it was all Japanese. And it was before the movie came out. So this was like 90s or some shit. So I was probably under 10. And the card was like $300, the Ancient Mew card. And then Burger King came out with their own, or McDonald's came out with their own version of that card. And it's like a complete copy of it. So you couldn't tell the difference between the two. And I got that, and I got them mixed up. And I didn't know which one is which, and I lost one.
No.
Like, one of them was lost, and I was like, fuck, I don't know if this is the real one or not. So I
could have
fucking
been
threw it away.
Oh, no.
I threw it away because I didn't know what to
my
do.
God.
I was just so defeated. Like, there was no way I could back up that this is the actual one.
There's
got
got to be a different grade of card stock that they used for it.
Oh, I
'cause how long
guarantee it.
some
ago-
sort of serial number,
You know,
like on the bottom too.
the print, the number.
bad moment in my life.
God
so-
damn it!
You said you had the holographic Charizard at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you had put that in a sleeve right then and just threw it in the closet and slept on it for 20, 25 years, that card would have been retirement money.
That is crazy.
$223,000 for a Charizard. So
Didn't a rapper buy that card?
yeah, Logic.
Logic bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact we had one. So what had happened was when those cards had come out, it was right around. They actually came out October 20th of 1999. Was
At
when
4 p.m.
when the first box ever came out. So my brother had a birthday earlier that year, and we got a bunch of like booster packs. Like, because at the time they were just selling like booster packs. They didn't have like an actual box. So
Just a little sleeve. They were in the packets, right?
yeah,
The
so
foils.
Anything,
The foils.
anything we got out of the foils was like Venusaur, Blastoise. He had the Charizard. We had all these like holographic, and we immediately put them in sleeves because my daddy collected baseball and basketball cards.
like,
And
It's
he
gonna be
was
worth
like,
something.
"You guys
Yeah.
don't understand how
He's like-
incredible these are going to be in the future."
So he's like, these are going to be worth money. So
Wow.
we stored them. And then for Christmas, I don't know how many boxes he bought. He probably bought 5 boxes a piece for us. Opened every single card, put them all in double sleeves, and put them in a big-ass box and just wrapped them up. We opened it up like 500 cards a piece. Holographics, all kinds of shit. And we had them for years and never took them out of the sleeves. And put them up in the closet, and we all moved out and shit, and they were there. And then I come back after finding all this. I'm like, dude, this
No,
shit
I
is
know
going to
where
be
this is
worth
going.
so much fucking money. Because I know I had at least 5 holographic Machamps. We had that Charizard. My brother had a
Oh, the
dark...
Machamps are pretty rare.
Yeah.
I remember that.
We had the Japanese dark Team Rocket holographic Charizard. Like,
What?
all the shit. Like, crazy shit. They were like, well, we don't really know what that shit was worth. It's not like baseball or basketball cards. So we donated it to the church, and some little boy got it for Christmas one year.
"Oh, so that little boy just got
Dude,
like his college
like-
tuition for
Yeah, but
Christmas."
Wow.
I guarantee you he took his little booger hooks and reached down in there and just fucked those cards.
Destroyed the
Guarantee, yeah,
authenticity.
absolutely, just fucked those cards into oblivion and just like ruined like 30 kids worth of retirement fund right there. Like, fuck that kid.
That's crazy. It makes
Yeah.
me wonder how much that one card I had would have been worth now.
So much money.
I know my dad when he had seen my like binder, my Pokemon binder with like sleeves worth, he took like all of the shinies, the holographics, and then like rubber banded it up. Rubber banded
Why
it
would
up,
he damage the card like that?
thinking that would preserve it. And not only did he rubber band it up, he also later lost all of them.
Dude,
Ugh.
so you got to see the card I pulled today, okay? So it's, if I get it graded at a PSA 10, it is worth about $400.
It's a
And
holographic Charizard, but is he like Mega Charizard or something?
That's a
or
full art.
That's just
What's
a full
Dynamax?
art. It's a full art VMAX.
VMAX.
Yeah.
You see, I'm so
I didn't
separated
know.
from
Yeah,
all
I
this.
didn't
What is
know
that?
none of the VX anything, but I know that if it's covering the whole card, it's a full art, and that's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
What's
Yeah.
what's VMAX mean? Is that what that is? Just fully
It's like,
colored?
so one of the clauses on the card, you know, if you actually end up playing that card, if you lose your VMAX, you have to give up 3 of your prize cards. So it's like a tournament card. So it would be like, you know, if you're putting pinks on, you know, racing card to card, it's like, hey, if I beat you, I'm getting some prize cards. So that's what that shit's all about. But they're like 1 out of every, you know, 100, 200 packs, you may get one. So the value of the card's pretty high. It's a Charizard, already pretty high. It's a full art holographic. So the card that's worth, like right now, that's selling for like $800-900 ungraded, is the like rainbow version of this. It came in the pack afterwards, but finding those packs are like pretty fucking hard right now. So people aren't really finding them. So next year when they stop printing that pack, it's supposed to skyrocket to like a $3,000 card.
I'm so curious, like when they make these unique cards that you just don't see a lot, that you know would be worth money.
Yeah.
Like when they're printing it at the factory, if there's like a big theft problem, you know, like because if you work for like Amazon, for example, you can't even bring your phone in, from what I understand.
Right.
And you walk through metal detectors and shit.
Right.
Or you check your pockets, you know. So how is that like? I don't understand how that's the case. I know like Magic the Gathering cards are also like stupid valuable too. I had a buddy
The
who
Black
sold,
Lotus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's like a $50,000 card or some crazy
The Black
shit, isn't it?
Lotus.
What's that?
The
Is
Black
it a
Lotus
character?
is the most sought after Magic card, bro.
Like the only one.
It
That's
came
out
from
there?
like the base set.
It came from the most basic ass set.
It was like the very first set. But keep in mind, the very first set came in like in the 80s or some shit, I believe.
I had a buddy that sold all of his like collection not too long ago, and he got like
So
thousands of dollars. Went to Japan for like weeks.
it had a reprint. What do they want? 93,000 for it?
Black Lotus values go from
28 to
between
53.
$28,000 to $35,000 and up.
I can't
See
imagine
what
having
year
that
it
much
came
extra
out
cash.
originally.
Can you just imagine dropping that much money on a fucking piece of card?
Dude, I mean,
There's fucking motherfuckers who would. For
That's
sure.
crazy.
that's the wild part is like, you know, those cards that are, you know, going
It's
for
not
$3,000.
even that good
like,
of a card
You
either.
put it up there and people buy it like immediately. They're just like, oh yeah,
Like they're waiting for
yeah,
it.
they're just people are just dying to have that card, which is crazy because like it's not like the value at that point. If somebody's paying $3,000 for a card, the price of that card's not going down.
Imagine telling your girl like, "Yeah, we're saving up all this money for
It came
a rainy
out
day."
in
And then
93.
the fucking I've seen pictures of this Black Lotus.
Adds 3
Wow, that's
mana
crazy.
of any single color to your choice of mana pool that then is discarded. Tapping this artifact can be played.
This is
As
the
a
dumbest
number
shit
of-
ever.
Hey, fuck out of here, bro. I fuck
It's a
with
cool
Magic the
looking flower.
Gathering.
It's a cool looking flower.
Yeah,
Give it
it's a
that.
neat flower.
But it's a fucking. But it's a card.
So-
it's just a
Yeah, it's
stupid-
absurd that it's worth that much for sure.
Did you see the
crazy.
video of the
I
dude who
completely agree.
used
You start
the
shaking?
magic cards to frame his hubcap, and he was spray painting his hubcap? And somebody was like, they zoomed in on one of the cards, and they were like, "Dude, that's a Black Lotus." And they sent him pictures of what it was worth and shit, and the dude started freaking out.
Oh, I would be so
Well, of
upset.
course.
I would-
Imagine
I
if you
would
had
start
anything in your
crying.
possession that's worth
How
that
do you
much.
not understand though that you had a? But also, if he just like lazily had a Black Lotus just hanging out, not knowing how much it's worth, it's probably like dented somewhere.
Maybe it was hot.
That would affect.
Even
the worth.
then, imagine
then,
if you had
yeah.
like a 7 rated card. They said it went on average 28,000 to 58. You could probably sell a card for $10,000.
There's a video
Even
I
if
had
it's bent.
seen of this dude who's like known for opening up original print like booster boxes, just like lost in storage and sold for so much online. He opens them and he opens up a pack and it gives him a Black Lotus and immediately his hands start
Starts shaking.
shaking. Like, oh my God.
Just
oh
opening
my
up
God,
another pack.
Oh my God. And he like immediately gets out of sleeve and like it takes him so long to get it in there. He's like, oh my God. Like he's
That's
so
crazy. If you
See-
can find that video, I'd love to see that.
When I opened the card earlier, I just kind of like I didn't really realize that I was like, oh shit.
That's crazy though. It's just cool that you can just buy that and you never. It's kind of like a lottery almost,
Right.
Which is kind of weird how to put it.
They've got a They've got a new pack coming out soon that's got a Pikachu that's supposed to be like a $300 card. So
Really?
yeah, I mean, it's crazy, dude. It's blowing up right now. These cards are starting to be worth a lot of money.
That's correct, dude. That's pretty wild, though.
So it's like, and it's physical stock too. It's not something like, I'm buying into a company and hoping that they do well and then they just bail out. It's like, I have this in my hand, and it's like the same goes, I guess, for like shoes or clothing items or like records or original prints on I don't know, old DVDs. Like certain collectors items, like having those physical items like gives you, I don't know, more security in your investment versus throwing it into a stock of some
totally
untangible thing that you can't see, but you can get reports on and just say like, oh well, I invested into Whataburger's doing really good right now. But if Whataburger doesn't do good, holy shit, I got to sell my money and hope my money's worth still a little bit more than what it was when I put it in the first place. So, I don't know. And there's a few different variables. I mean, the interest in Pokemon could go down, and then the price of these cards could go down.
It could only go up from here, I would assume.
Right.
If it's already worth something now, why would that? It's not like Bitcoin or some shit where you never know where it's going to go.
Right.
So I can imagine that. So are you pulling up a video right now of someone finding look at this dude. He's wearing like fucking latex gloves. Like you think COVID-19's about to be on these cards. It's very interesting. And how many views? 6 million views for cards? Let's hear this shit. I'm curious.
Rare at 8 minutes in. Will it be the Lotus? Oh, wow. Tropical Island. Dual land. There we go.
So is he
And
thinking
then
there's
the
going
other
to be
one
a
is-
Lotus in here?
Holy bitch! That's a freaking Black Lotus! Holy God! That's an Alpha freaking Lotus! That should... Holy...
Look at him set that down, dude. It was like he was holding a bomb.
You called it! Holy crap!
Yeah, that dude just pulled out a fortune.
I've never been that into Magic. I played it for a little bit.
Dude, I'll play Magic, but I could give a fuck about how much it's worth.
Yeah, it's cool that it's worth that much money.
Sorry, we're having some sound difficulties. Keep going, though.
No, it's cool. It's like a live show. It's like you're a sound DJ or something.
It sounds
for
like
some
we're really
reason,
bad at doing
I
this.
I don't understand why. Cody can hate me for it, but I don't understand why port 2 is not working. But
Do you want to take a quick pause real quick?
No, we're fine.
Okay. Well, all right. We'll keep it going then. So that's fucking crazy, though, thinking about cards just being like that. That dude flipped out. That was pretty entertaining to watch. What's up with this flying jetpack guy that we've been hearing about? You guys hear about this guy?
So I pulled up the video after I typed in LAX jetpack flyer from what we were talking about prior, because you had put a link into our Facebook video page, so I wanted to check it out. But like I said, this port isn't really working so well.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Oh, there we go.
Object soaring
There we
above
go.
Los Angeles yesterday afternoon.
Let me just take it back. Oh,
Let me give a little background real quick. So basically, recently there's been reports on like these what the fuck news channels that are saying like, man's been spotted on a jetpack 6,000 feet in the air at airplane height and shit, and he's in commercial flying zones, and it's a
Yeah.
big deal, and no one knew anything about it. There was just stories of it. But then like like a couple of days ago on the 15th, someone recorded him landing at a fucking airport, and it's fucking crazy. He's like fucking Iron Man out there.
dude, I mean, I'm all about it. Like, if you can build something like that, like, what that is the number one dream of, like, a human being, right? Is to be able to just fly, to just go from standing or having to run or walk it to just flying, looking at a bird, like one you drive by, like flying, dude. Like, that is the number
I don't even know
one
what
dream for
I've seen
sure.
the water jetpacks.
If
in
you
person.
can, if you can do it, do
like
it. Like,
full
that should
control
not be
flying. Like,
yeah.
with all limbs.
Why
and you
not?
yeah, that yeah.
Hey, but he's got a jetpack. Let him do it.
You never know. Like, if it's just a back-mounted jetpack and some shit goes wrong, I mean,
How does it not heat up your feet?
You should have the freedom to fly into electric wires and shut down the power for an entire city block if you want to fly. I feel
Yeah,
like you
that
should
is
have
a
that
free
freedom.
country?
I wanna
Yeah,
live in.
you have the liberty to die that way.
It's
You know, if
my
there was,
God-given right.
If there was like a big event today or something that like was going on,
Yeah.
you could probably do something to make something like that happen. You know?
Yeah.
Why not?
But like,
All right, let's
I don't
check
know, I
this
think
fucking.
baseball.
Baseball, something's going on tonight. I don't know what it is.
Let's
November
check this
3rd.
video out.
Let's check it.
Oh, remember the 3rd of November, the V for Vendetta, dude.
Yeah, that. Oh yeah.
Los Angeles yesterday afternoon.
We just saw the flying object, like a flight suit just passing by at 6,000.
A flying object, was it a UAV or was it a jetpack?
Like a jetpack.
Chris Van Cleve
What?
joins us. Chris, what do we know about this latest incident?
That's
And that was
fucking
from
awesome.
the pilot. That wasn't even like some crazy passenger that's like, you know.
Taiwan reported what appeared to be a jetpack flying around 6,000 feet,
It's incredible.
about 7 miles from LAX yesterday. Other planes in the area did not spot the unknown object, but the FAA and FBI are investigating similar sightings near LAX in late August. There, 2 pilots on separate flights saw what they described as a person wearing a jetpack flying near their airliners. It's not clear what was actually seen
God,
or
I
if there's
love
any
it.
link
Pause that real
between
quick.
these incidents. Jetpacks are actually
Can you imagine you're in a plane?
Hold up.
a real thing, but only a few.
Okay, I thought he was about to be like, jetpacks are actually legal. I was like, I'm moving to LA.
Yeah, wow.
I need to I'm not there for the jetpacks, dude. I don't give a shit.
Turns
That
out
would
we
fuck
can't
wild.
do anything, so get a jetpack.
I'm just imagining being on a plane. You guys flown before, right?
No.
Never?
No.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about that. Well, you're missing out
Bored.
because it can be quite the experience.
Yeah.
As in boring or really exciting in frequent little spots. But can you just imagine being up there and you're looking out the window and you see some fucking man getting sucked up in the jet?
Dude, I'd be like, what do I need to do to be your sidekick, guy? I'll just
shadow
base out
air.
of Cincinnati,
So-
Ohio.
Do you think they'll make drone blades strong enough to be able to propel us off the ground? Because I
Oh,
know
for sure.
drones are like the big technology right now.
They have those bikes now. They have like drone bikes that you could
Listen
fly.
here.
Sit down.
Flying
pancake.
is going to be a big part of our future soon.
You think they'd be like a backpack that
It's
just comes
happening.
out and then
Well,
take
Can
off
you-
like a drone?
Can you think about how different our future would have been if, like, the future of who was that producer? If you know who I'm talking about, who was famous for building that wooden airplane. It was supposed to be like a luxury airplane, commercial like. It was kind of like a
feel like I know what you're
cruise, but
talking about.
instead of a cruise, you're like on the ocean. You were in the air instead. Like if money was put into that financially instead of like seafare.
I remember
That'd be fucking
listening-
crazy. I think that's the direction we're starting to go into, though.
So like, you think they'll bring back like big zeppelins and shit and just have like
yeah, why not?
just be steampunk.
but way
Yeah.
cooler, way cooler than ugly ass zeppelins. Zeppelins are like fat, like balloons, and then just little tiny corridors.
Yeah, they could have a fat ass corridor and even a bigger balloon.
Yeah, it's like the size of our podcast room, and they have
Thinking
this thing that's
big.
the size of a house.
Thinking big.
But I remember hearing a podcast of Elon Musk talking about how he was discussing like 3D like traveling and stuff, or like 4-dimensional traveling. I don't know what the fuck maybe I'm fucking butchering it, but he was talking about how things like flying vehicles would never work because it's just so busy up there, and it's just too complicated to even fathom controlling it, like where people are going, organization, flying spaces for other things, and it just causes too many problems. But he thinks the future of like traveling is like in the ground by doing like tunnels and shit that are just all over the place, like major highways, but they're these long tunnels and they're different levels underneath the surface.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Does that
Yeah,
make
I know
sense?
He
exactly what
invested
you're
in the
talking
Boring
about.
Company
Yeah.
for that. Didn't
Yeah, I think that's because he wants to start that shit over in LA, and I think they're working on it right now, but maybe I'm wrong.
I feel like that would just be the absolute worst place to like start building tunnels.
I think
So-
that'll be a good. Well, to start there, I feel like it's kind of tough, but it's really important. You're stuck in traffic there for hours.
That place is on fire. That place is always quaking.
You won't have fire under the ground.
But
earthquake-
still,
Also-
I feel like it's Danger City. I wouldn't want
Earthquakes
like
don't go
underground
below
pipes, dude.
I went caving not too long, like right before we all started hanging out.
I
and
want
they
to go
say
fucking caving.
We should fucking do it because
I
it's a
wanna
good
do
fucking
it.
time.
Spelunking.
But
That's what it's called.
earthquakes only go down like a certain amount of footage, like 60, 80 feet or something, according to the cave guide that was there.
Yeah.
The safest place to be during an earthquake is in a cave. Is from what he was
What?
saying. I was like, what?
That literally doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but they only go so far down,
Aren't
apparently.
tectonic plates like deep below, not surface
This is just
level
what the guy
shit.
said. He's
Something
the
like
expert,
Cannibal would
dude.
say. So like, come in the cave with me, kids.
Right. Like,
And then he gets
the
trapped in
safest
there with you and
place is in this
just eats
cave.
you guys for weeks.
It's like that fake candy van or whatever. We got candy in here.
Yeah, I got cave stuff.
Getting
in here,
grifted.
kid.
I got safety in here.
Yeah, come on in. We got spliffs, dude.
I swear that's a thing.
We
I
got-
mean, maybe we can Google it and it's a thing, but
Hey,
I'm pretty
for
sure.
real though. Hold up. Let's finish this video before we start getting on cave talk, because I've been getting on
We should
caves
talk about it.
recently.
Few companies make them.
You're on your
After the
cave
first
shit
reports,
right
the
now.
CEO of
Kayak to
Jetpack
cave.
Aviation in LA told us it would be nearly impossible
These
for someone to fly a
jetpacks look
jetpack
incredible.
thousands of feet up
They can only
and
probably be in
down
there
safely.
for like
They're also not
a
commercially
minute
available,
or
very
two,
expensive,
you
and
know?
very noisy, so it's unlikely somebody could take off and land in densely populated Los Angeles and no one would see it. And of course,
So you
I
think-
Well,
am
it's
zipping
happening.
around LA.
So you think
Hold the phone
Tony
though.
Stark's here?
I was hoping that there was like caught footage.
there is, but I couldn't find it.
Oh, okay.
It's on.
okay.
It's that.
Dude, you know for a fact that there's some guy out there like, I'm gonna
at that one.
fucking fight crimes. What the fuck is
Here, look up
this?
October.
This dude has got 4 fire engines strapped to his arm.
Oh, that's got to be hot, dude.
Yeah, he's probably baking his fingers.
He's got like wingsuit like type of pants on with like directional fins on the back of his calves as
Yeah,
well.
all the engines are on his hands. Do you know how much
He's
like core
flying-
strength you need for this?
He's flying like Iron Man right now.
Honestly, he should strap a couple to his feet and see what happens.
So the only reason he's being propelled forward really is because of the pants.
If someone came up to you and they were a fucking Iron Man like superhero and they were looking as dorky as this coming up to you, it'd be hard to run away.
Dude,
Like, they
this
look
looks
stupid as
fucking
hell.
cool though. This
Super
looks,
cool.
This looks like some shit that's gonna be like funded for the military. You're just about to see a squadron of 12 dudes jetpacking up on a beach.
Mandalorians, basically.
Yeah, just
Guns
drop,
built into
throw it down on the ground, just start running in with guns like
Real life B movie.
real like jet troopers, dog. It's happening.
They're
This
gonna look
is
dumb as
incredible.
fuck flying up to you.
Yeah, this guy got kidnapped by like the Marine Corps the next day. They were like,
For real,
that's
tell
really
us your
neat.
secrets.
Snatch.
We're taking over from here, boys.
Build us your machines.
Yeah, last
crazy. All right.
upload August 7th, 2020.
All right, but
Yeah.
He's never seen again.
Type in October or go on. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure that video was on. It was on Reddit and I shared it on our video page. But you can keep going. What we're moving on to do next.
all right, so we were gonna start talking about caves.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to go cave diving just because it got super wild for me recently. I started like, I don't know how it came onto my YouTube feed, but it was just, I'm going to try to look it up.
Like you're talking about cave diving, like spelunking, or are you talking about scuba diving in caves?
There it is. He like no like
Oh, fuck
like
this.
spelunking.
Yeah, I talked about
this is
this
it,
guy.
John Jones. Yeah, we did.
We talked. Well, I don't know if we talked about it on the show, but we talked about it on the group page for a while.
Oh, okay.
I shared like how this guy. We're gonna get into it, but
Yeah.
yeah, this guy fucking died in this whole thing.
Dude, like,
It's
but
crazy.
this dude's a fucking idiot. Like, this dude, like, when you hear about how he died, you're like, oh, that makes sense. You know, like, oh,
Like,
Rip,
I wouldn't do that.
You know, Rip also, Rip hard, John Jones, Rip, but
Rip hard, bro.
But also, what an idiot. So this guy, he like spelunked with his dad all the time, right? And so he goes to this cave with his dad when he's really fucking young. And
Is this
he's
the
like,
video of it?
No. I don't think this is the video.
But go on with the story.
Here it is. Here, this is what I wanted to pull up.
Yep.
Okay, so John Jones goes to this cave once with his dad, right? So Daddy dies, and he's like, you know what? Remember that one time once a cave with that dad? I'm going to go back to that cave. So he goes back to that cave, and he's like, am I going to go with anybody or any guides? Nah, I'm going to go solo. Am I going to go there with any maps? Nah, I'm not going
They
to go
went
in
to
there
an
with any
uncharted
maps.
place. Yeah.
So yeah, the fucking dummy got lost, went into an uncharted area, and he's like, "No, I'm pretty sure this is the way out." So he keeps crawling down this hole. Mind you, this hole is not like diagonal. It's not like horizontal, and he's not crawling upwards. This guy is crawling into a hole that is completely vertical. Downwards. He's crawling downwards, and he's like, this is for sure the way out. error number one. He went face first down a vertical hole in a cave. This man could have plummeted like 20 feet right onto his fucking
Right, like,
noggin.
what if you just slip out and you just fall? You don't know how deep
For
shit is
real.
in caves. They're
Scrambled
huge.
eggs immediately just.
Huge
dead.
caverns.
Immediate, like, and so, okay, so thank God that's not the case. He doesn't plummet to his death. Well, I guess not thank God at all. What turns out is like, it's like this hourglass shaped cave where like the deeper he climbs in and wiggles his legs in, the more stuck he becomes.
Yeah.
And there's literally no way for him to pull himself
There's no
out.
back out.
The more he was certain that pushing forward was the answer, the more he like solidified his death.
Yeah, it's Tombstone.
And so this is the part I have missing information on. Somehow fucking rescuers got to this guy, right? I don't know if he had like a radio or emergency or whatever. I thought he went by himself.
This was like a whole thing on the group for a while. But he went with a couple of people. He was an experienced cave, like he did spelunking before.
Right.
He did go on what you're saying for this dad thing that happened. He went here, and this was they got like lost or something. I might be wrong on that. And they went through this uncharted part, this particular part where he thought it was something, but it was an uncharted part of the cave. And that's where he got stuck. Someone else was able to get through right before him, and then I don't know if it was like 2 or 3 people. Someone was behind him, someone was in front of him, I think, and he was stuck in the middle, and he was stuck upside down for 20 hours before he passed. And they got people there, and they started working on it. And every time the only way they could get this guy out, like they tried
broke
oil.
his legs.
Yeah, they had to use a series of pulleys in order to pull him out because the way he was stuck is he couldn't move his arms or anything, and he was like getting all this blood to his head and shit. Someone had to talk to him the whole time from the bottom, and there was nothing they could do except for make him feel comfortable. So they drugged him. It was like a euthanasia where they like drugged him to make him feel comfortable, and he just slowly passed away because there was nothing he could do because of just the suffering and the pain of having all that blood go up your brain and all that shit.
See, the one part that I missed on is that there was that someone went in front of him and made it, because I thought he was stuck there and he, like you said, he died there, and then they just sealed off the cave. So I don't know how
his body's still there.
Right. So whoever was in front of him was just like, I guess I'm stuck here too.
Yeah, they just said, well, no. There was other ways out. Sorry, they got out. The other people got out. He was just in the worst spot possible for this whole thing, and he just couldn't make it through where the person in front of him could. You just can't squeeze through everything. In caves, you think they're slimy when you look inside of them. Like, I've gone through caves a lot, and it's like that's not the case. It's just how the water's just ran on them for so long that they have these smooth, weird surfaces, and you just can't squeeze through them, or it's really rugged in there.
Jesus.
I don't think I would
Christ.
ever put myself that deep into a cave ever.
I would never do what this guy's doing.
I would go into like one of these like big, like you can walk inside of it, and I can maybe like do a couple cartwheels. Like I would go into those caves, but like. Yeah. Hey, dude, like, I'm kind of stuck. Can you back up a little bit? Like, nope, never going to that.
I for real want to do a cave like this. Type of that. Like spelunking, like crawling through the tight places to get deeper into wider areas.
If you have a guide.
Yeah, for sure, of course. Like, I'm not about to just, like, I think I can conquer this cave. Like, I'm not about to just Skyrim this cave, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But... yeah, for sure, I would love to do that. I would cave dive. I would kayak through water caves for sure. I want to fuck with caves. I think I'm a cave person.
They're really fascinating. The only thing that's fucked up, and I got a couple stories here. The only thing that's fucked up, I think personally, of the caves, because once you're in there, it's really like kind of like a spiritual out-of-body experience, and I'll get into that, but... the worst part is when you first get into the cave. I'm not a bug guy, like, at all.
Hey, fuck bugs.
But there's these things called cave crickets, and I've talked about this on the podcast before, too.
Remember.
But these have I told you about this story?
No.
Well, when I was very young, I went to Mammoth Cave, which is like 2 hours south of us, and it's like the biggest cave on the East Coast or some shit, or I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not an expert.
It's a big cave.
It's a big fucking cave.
It's called Mammoth Cave.
It's the size of a mammoth.
Or bigger.
Or bigger and
maybe
larger.
Maybe mammoths lived in it, and that's why they, Anyway.
So, I went there with my stepdad, and I was probably like 9 or some shit, and going into the cave, there was like this long rectangular corridor where you walk through it. It looks like a long hallway in a house or some shit. And it was like fucking Temple of Doom going through that because there was like all these cave crickets. And they look, if you Google a cave cricket, you'll see what I'm talking about. But they are like these crickets with giant legs and they're big and yellow. And usually you see them in your basement and they're like dark and brown. They're like maybe an inch long or whatever.
Yeah,
but in the
they're big
caves,
suckers.
they're the size of your fucking hands. And they're big and yellow. They're like fucking aliens. Like they look like those things. They're just gigantic.
Aren't those what they base some of the aliens and Men in Black off of?
They kind of look like
Probably,
that. Yeah, a little
for
bit.
sure.
But they were literally all over the walls, the ceiling, everything. They don't give a fuck about people. They'll hop on you and shit. You walk right through them, they're hopping on you. And they have weight on them.
I hate bugs.
Too. And they don't like stick onto you like a normal bug. They have little hooks at the end of them. So you feel every little prick of them walking up you. So when I was a kid, that horrified me.
You just made my butthole tight, dude.
It was just for the first moment of the
wish I could
cave.
say that.
I was horrified, and I got in. And it was fun. It was wonderful. But like the second time I went, which was like 3 years ago or some shit,
Yeah.
I went and I didn't see any on any of the caves I went on. I went to like 4 of them. I didn't see any of this shit, and then I was feeling a little brave. And there was this one lantern lit tour. I think it was called Granite Cave or some shit. But I decided to be a little froggy on this whole thing and be like, you know what? I'll go first. Can I go first? I'd like to experience like the cave as if like I was going into it alone for the first. You know what I mean?
This
Like I want
guy's
to be in
like,
the first.
this kid is about to get covered in bugs.
No, like they welcome it, but this cave hasn't been open in like 2 weeks or some shit. So we open the door and it's like an old cellar and shit. It looks like a fucking dungeon. The water's dripping from the ceiling. It's black, no lights at all. Big dungeon doors, whatever. And it looks like with a lamp, you have like limited visibility. Like you see flickering a little bit so far with the light. And it looked like pine needles were falling from the ceiling. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like just this thing is dropping on the ground. And I look to my right and I see these fuckers booking it up the fucking wall. And they're huge. Like they're the size of my hand, dude. I'm a 6'1" guy. They're fucking huge. And the heat and the light from not seeing it for so long is making them jump. So there's like 20 or 30 of us going on this thing.
Oh
and I'm heading down the stairs as I notice this shit. One hops on me. I scream. I'm like, oh my God! And I threw the fucking lamp over my head and I fell down the stairs going into the cave. I slipped down and I'm trying to fucking get this cave cricket off me, which is booking it up my fucking stomach to my face, hanging on like Tom Cruise.
Meanwhile, everyone thinks some sort of demon raked you into the
Seriously,
darkness.
I fucking scared the shit out of him. And I finally get it off, and this thing, it has weight to it. I freak out, and I almost like shattered the lamp and stuff, and I made a total scene. Everyone, the guy was like, "Are you okay, buddy?" And I was dead silent, and I was like, "Yeah, I just had to get through something right then, you know."
Oh my God.
And the rest of the tour was fine, but it was mortifying.
Jesus Christ.
The inside of the cave, once I was in there, they had like crystals take thousands or hundreds of years, thousands of years to get like inches big, you know. But there was like everything looked like it was covered in like a frost on the inside of the cave, and with the lantern and shit, it just looked like a sparkling galaxy when you walk through it, and it's just like pitch black right beyond you, and it's so cool at the temperature. It doesn't matter what temperature it is.
But also don't touch it because it'll fucking cut you wide open.
It'll cut you, and it's like it's so fragile at the same time. It just takes so long for it to get there. That's like damaging a world wonder almost.
Right.
So it was super crazy.
So you should
experience.
just do it just to say like you've committed one of the most ultimate evils.
Just elbow drop it, like give it the people's elbow. Just
lasted hundreds of years till it met me.
It was destroyed by my hands.
That's the Fight
I'm gonna
Club.
spit out my
It's
drink.
like, I wanted to destroy something beautiful.
Yeah, you're edgy as fuck. Like, why would you do that, dude?
Fuck, I saw Donnie Darko once.
But a cool thing that you could also try at Red River Gorge is there's like a kayaking mine thing. There's a mine shaft that is super crazy.
Yeah.
You go on it, it's like $45 or something.
Yeah, I went.
You went on it?
Yeah. Is that where they have the rainbow trout in there?
I don't know. There's no life in this
that
one.
would be scary.
It's a mine shaft where there was a movie with John Voight was in it or some shit, and there was like a bulldozing equipment in there or some shit, right?
Yeah. And
you went on
then
that one?
There was like an inflatable raft that somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have rainbow trout in there.
They have fish in there?
Yeah. So they have the biggest rainbow trout in Kentucky too, because they're like 25 pound
that
rainbow
sounds
trout.
like
And most rainbow
that would
trout get up
freak
to
me
like
the fuck
18 pounds.
out.
But the water in there is like
99% purified.
38 degrees or something like that.
It's super cold.
Yeah, it's really cold, and the trout love it. So they have trout in there. They live to be about
I never
7
knew
years
that.
old, and then they get more trout, and then it's like, yeah.
Luke, let me tell you how freaky this place is,
And
though.
there's no natural predators. in
Yeah, it's everything that goes in there.
There's
That
that's
Appalachian
solid.
bats, though.
That's you
There's
said
bats.
there's danger bats.
No, there's
Are you saying
Appalachian
there's no?
bats.
Oh, okay, I thought you
They
were like
said,
there's no natural predators, but there's
No,
Appalachian bats. Like, I need to be
the
worried
tour
about
guide
these
said,
guys.
"How do you get redneck vampires?" She said, "With Appalachian bats," and everybody was like,
Hey, that's cool though to know that there's no natural predators.
Well,
You can just
interesting-
you can just paddle in
Yeah.
there safely, not worrying about nothing
Bears.
fucking you up. Hey, there was a whole
No bears
movie.
in there.
There was a whole
Not in
movie
the
that came out last year about cave diving, and it was 5 girls and they encountered blind sharks in
What?
the mines that
What?
they were swimming in. Yeah,
What's this movie and why haven't I watched it yet?
It was pretty scary. It
Sharknado
was pretty
12.
fucking scary. Yeah.
It was scary?
"Sharkquake." Instead of
Sharkquake.
Sharknadoes, it's Sharkquake.
I forget what it was called, but it was pretty good.
But in going into this place, it's like a mile deep or some shit, and it's all columns because it's a mine. So you're looking at infinite black, just darkness beyond you. And when you're in the fucking water, you feels like you're about to get attacked by the Watcher from Lord of the Rings. Remember where they were like, "Don't disturb the water." Like that fucker was gonna come out and get me the whole time. Didn't you feel that way when you were there? And then when the water went so high where you had to bend your head to go through the? Did you go that deep?
We didn't go that deep, no.
It was crazy.
No,
Yeah.
we went on a shorter tour.
Yeah, it was wild, though. I highly recommend it. 47. Oh, the second 47 meters down.
Uncaged.
Uncaged this time.
It's uncaged, buddy. Yeah, dude. This movie was pretty scary.
Did you see the first one?
It went from 5 chicks down to 2 sisters, dude. What's going on?
No.
Were you watching,
Like those are the 2 main characters, and I'm
He was
I'm
watching
pretty sure that they're the only
Pornhub
ones that
version.
survive. Like all the other ones get murked.
It's probably like some
40
Rule 34.
Yeah,
of
47
this, right?
wieners down.
They get murked. they go. The premise is like they
There were
go.
47 dudes and 5 chicks.
Uncaged.
They like their dad cave dives often or something like
Yeah.
that, and they were gonna
bet
go
he
on
does.
their own, and they went swimming at this lake with their friends where there's like no fish, there's supposed to be no life, and so they go into like this cave opening that's deep down at the bottom of the lake, and then at the bottom of the lake inside the cave is like old ruins. And then they like check out the ruins, and then like they realize that a shark swims by, but like as it swims in their
was
light,
probably just
they
the
see the eye that it's all white and gray, and they're like, it's blind.
It's blind.
And that's when it starts.
So what does
And then
the
it ate
shark
'em.
eat?
Huh?
What does the shark? What do they eat?
I have no fucking idea.
Darkness.
My guy.
Because like if there's no fish
It's
in
a-
the
it's-
lake
it's
and
a-
the sharks are blind,
it's a scary
how are
movie.
they
Plot
alive?
hole. Plot hole. I haven't even watched the movie and there's a plot hole.
Oh yeah, so
47 dicks down.
the exit, because of course they get trapped in the ruins that lead into a cave because
There was
they're
like a
trying to
rock
get away
underwater
from
the
the
whole
sharks.
time? Were they underwater the whole time?
Yeah, they were surviving off the air tanks that they have on their back the whole
The whole
time.
movie?
The whole movie.
And of course, they have like the state of the art mask where they can
Of
communicate
course.
through
And talk.
walkie-talkie and not
And
fog up
yes,
their mask.
Of
Okay.
course. So they find the exit at the end of the cave that leads into like the ocean that's on the other side of like the rock wall that secluded them, and that's where the sharks are coming in and out of.
That's just so awesome.
Yeah.
No, I really do want to see that. I like bad movies.
Yeah,
But
dude.
did you see the first one? Did you think the first one was scary?
No, I never saw the first one.
It was kind of lame.
People told me about it.
So
You know what movie scared the shit out of me as a kid as a shark movie? Deep Blue Sea.
yeah.
Now watching it is aged terribly. But watching when I was a kid and seeing that girl at the end after she sacrificed herself get bit in half haunted me for years.
See, I can't mess with the ocean like that. I can't be in deep water like that.
I
No
see.
way.
Same. I've talked about it time and again. I have a deep fear of the ocean.
I used to not be able to. So like Super Mario 64, like when you had to jump through the paintings and do all the levels and shit. I had to have my dad do all the levels with the water in it
because of the giant eel.
That was fucking terrible.
The giant eel that was.
Hey,
down
I
there?
know what you mean. That level was scary when you realize the depth.
Yeah,
and you see
and
it
you had to
down
keep
there,
going,
and
your
you
breath was
have
going away, and you had to get the coins. But every time you would go get a coin, you get closer to the eel, and it's like, oh, you motherfucker.
Yeah, man, I understand that fear.
So yeah, that was rough. And then we went to the ocean when I was younger too, and there was a big sign out there that said it was like a warning: "Beware of man of wars." And
I've seen those.
tentacles can be up to 100 feet
250
long,
feet.
and they can paralyze you.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Fuck you.
why would I swim in this fucking cursed water and get paralyzed by a jellyfish? So I've actually looked into man of wars, and they're like not jellyfish. They're
multiple creatures.
They're closely related to coral, so they're polyps, and they colonize together, and each individual polyp is like, well, I'm going to be a stinger polyp, and the other one's like, I'm going to be a butthole polyp, and the other one's like, well, I'm going to be
They work
the face.
together.
And they all just, they all make like this
I'll be
thing.
the butt.
And then their tentacles just go out forever, and they just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then they just like, dude.
They
And
just
then they
wash
just
up.
fucking ruin you if
Just
you
wreck
ever
your
touch
shit.
them.
Don't get near me.
Yeah,
And
Rachel and
dead.
I, when we went to Florida for the first time together, it was like in December, and we went down to New Smyrna Beach.
Oh god.
And when we go down there,
Someone
they had
died.
they had this a man of war like bloom or some shit that was down there, and they were washed up on the shore. And I remember seeing them. I'd be like, "What the fuck? That's a man of war! I never think I would see something like that." And
you're like, "Let me touch it."
I poked it with a stick. You know,
They're usually a
You're
little bit farther
fooling,
out, though, aren't they?
Patrick.
Like, they don't really ever make it that close to shore most of
yeah,
the time.
they were up
but,
against
like,
the shore.
Yeah, there's points in time where they wash up on the shore in like hundreds and thousands. Like,
Yeah,
really
there was
bad
only like
tides
10.
come in. And
There was like
shove
10 or
these
12 I
bitches in.
saw, but there
So,
was a shit ton in the water.
Since we're talking about the ocean, I ask pretty much everybody that I know.
Fuck the ocean.
Go to YouTube really quick.
Save it, but also fuck it.
Go to YouTube really quick. And
Hey,
it's
hold up.
1
I'm
million
rolling weed.
crabs.
What's that?
How
Here
many
we go.
crabs? Okay.
How many crabs?
Yeah, look up one.
How many crabs
look
to
up
change a light bulb?
1 million crabs.
Invading green crabs?
No, actually type it out.
All the zeros?
No, just type out one and then the actual full word million crabs. Because there's this guy, he goes to this island. There's all these crabs. That right there.
Is that David Attenborough? That's David Attenborough.
Yeah.
And all of these crabs will be dead.
So,
And there's nothing you can do about it.
let's say, how many crabs do you think you could fight off before they would kill you? And they're all bloodlusted and they like want to take you down. And you have no time to prepare whatsoever.
The moon is in its third quarter, and the sun
Third quarter. I'll answer in a sec.
And I'm thinking like crabs of this size, because like,
Well,
you
it
know.
depends. Like, I could probably fight off enough where I'm crushing them. But if they get on me or whatever, and I can't get them enough off, like, yeah, I think they could totally overtake you. And then if they keep piling onto you, that's just all this crab meat weight
Right,
that's just on
right.
top of you, and they're all probably stink like hell, and you probably pass out, and they'll just eat you alive. Pinch you to death.
they pinch pretty hard, I'm sure. And look at them. Look how many there are. So like, I'm just saying, like, you're out and you're at the beach and you're swimming with your family. You lay down on a towel, and you're like, you wake up and something's amuck, and you turn around and like, there's all these crabs around you like this, and they're bloodlust, and they're like, let's murder Pat, and you're just like, oh fuck me.
Well,
How many?
especially
How
if I'm just
many
wearing
do
a
you
swimsuit
think?
too. it'd
How
probably
many
get
do you
me.
think you could fight off before you end up getting overwhelmed?
Well, can I run away?
How
Like, do I have an area?
How many do you think he's killing walking through this scene right
They
now?
were actually do pretty well walking around you. I only know that from just a little bit of experience with like a small amount of crab, like a large amount of crabs. Like when I go
Well,
kayaking.
they want
and-
nothing to do with you. They kind of scurry away.
Yeah, like they'll walk around you like the scarabs in fucking The Mummy with the flashlight. You know what I mean? Or,
yeah.
Like they usually just do that. But
I'm
if
saying
you're saying like
bloodlust.
if I'm sunbathing and I wake up and all of a sudden I'm completely surrounded by them, is that what you're saying? Like I have no way of escape? I don't think I'd
You
last.
just have to
do I
fight
have
them
shoes?
off. You can have shoes. That's
Like I'm
fair.
wearing shoes. Like
You're
I have to be wearing
shoes,
some
yeah.
Jordans as I'm sunbathing, and I get up and I can. I think I can. I run away like over them, or do I have?
You
to
have
fight?
to stand your ground.
I don't
'cause
think
you,
I'd
like
win.
at any point in your mind you think like, I can't outrun these guys. I have to fight them. How many crabs? How many hundreds of crabs?
I don't even know if
thousands?
I'd get 100,000, dude. Like, I feel like that I'd get exhausted or something, and they would just totally overwhelm me. If they're all coming at me at once, there's no way, unless I'm hopping around, skipping or something, that I'm gonna get away from them all, pinching my
Dude.
feet and like incapacitating me. So I would say maybe a couple hundred, I could probably get away. If I have like an umbrella next to me from where I was sunbathing, I'd have a weapon, and maybe I could do something like that. Maybe
Beat
like
your,
use
like,
it to
couple
stand
thousand
on.
away and
Yeah,
right.
that's
I'm
just
thinking,
I'm just
thinking
spitballing
300 is
now.
a fair number.
300.
Yeah, I feel
I'm
like
saying
it's fair.
301.
Because like you gotta factor in exhaustion and like how hard do you have to stomp on a crab?
What about you, Luke? What do you
I
think?
think I could kill all of them and anybody who dares to challenge me.
Like, that's just a warm up, baby.
You're like, dude, I'm
100 million crabs.
He'll do an extinction event on these crabs. Stupid,
so
dude.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
dude,
just
it's just I don't know. I thought about it one day. I was like, how many crabs would it take to absolutely end me?
I mean, how
Hey,
many? You
but
say 300?
I think I could take on 300. So the 301st.
Well, what's your strategy? I'm really curious. Like, what's your strategy when you're? Let's say you. Okay.
What's
you
your
have shoes.
crab strategy?
You have to
What's
keep
your
them,
crab
you
strat?
have to keep them off of you, right? That's number one. So
Right. So what do
have to
crabs
keep,
not
You
like?
have to keep your legs moving like
Oh,
the
okay.
entire time, no matter what.
Right.
You have to keep your legs moving. 'Cause
Otherwise
you
they'll get ya.
Yeah, if you ever stand still, they're gonna get up on
They're
you.
gonna pinch your fucking heel.
Right. So you're gonna have to like pretty much just leap and just
Yeah.
and just jump, grab, and just like leap pads.
Like that Fall Guys game or whatever, where you're stepping
like
on
hexagon.
The hexagon game.
And you gotta like maybe you could leap skip your way to safety, but I think like at some point you're gonna be tired and
Yeah.
you're gonna make the wrong
How
step.
sunburned
and,
am
like,
I?
They're gonna
You know?
get on you. Yeah, maybe you're tired.
Maybe I'm super sunburned.
What if you were paddleboarding all day and you're like you just got back and you're exhausted and you're covered in like crab pheromones and like I'm gonna fuck this dude's day up. I'm gonna end this guy right now. He smells like a crab douche. And they come in, they just come in and they just want to fuck your world.
Hey, crab douche!
Hey, crab douche! Fuck you!
Get on over here, crab douche.
That's stupid as hell.
Yeah, so you never know.
I think that's a good strategy, though. I think there's too many factors to give
No, you're
good
looking.
number.
You're trying to monkey's paw this shit. I'm just saying in a straight up fucking crab royale. How many crabs can you murderize before they overwhelm
Crab
you
Royale,
and you die?
I'm not picturing being surrounded at that point. I'm picturing like it's like Lord of the Rings Helm's Deep, and the crabs are Helm's Deep, and I'm the fucking invading army or something.
And you gotta
And
storm
it's
it.
just me, and I'm storming them.
I mean, however you gotta look at it. Yeah. So yeah, it's you versus you're breaking into Mordor, and it's just you and Samwise. And
you gotta speed run this shit.
Yeah. Hey, bro, you got 5 minutes. Get in there.
You got 5 minutes. Why is that so funny? That's funny. You fucking bolt, dude. That's big. That's comedy in my mind.
So yeah, I mean, crab royale, whatever, and maybe it's like Fortnite. You and 99 other crabs drop in, and you got to pick up ARs and just blow. I don't know.
You're on the PC games, right?
Yeah.
You ever play a game called Ultimate Battle Simulator? You ever heard of it?
Total Accurate Battle Simulator.
You ever heard about it, Luke?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So I have it on my PC, but it's a game where you and it's just off my experience talking about it. You can you can play as these people, I guess, kind of, but you have this map and you can put in as many. You can have 2,000 Roman soldiers against 100 World War II people with Tommy guns or whatever. And you have to like just let them go at each
Total
other.
Accurate Battle Simulator. It's tabs for short.
Or
yeah,
something like
you could
that.
do like wizards versus barbarians. And
20,000 chickens against 100,000 Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That one can crash my computer.
Yeah,
I've
I
done
push the
like
limits.
I've done like 10,000 versus 10,000 soldiers, and it'll go like just slow. It'll just freeze. It'll freeze the screen, right? And then everything will populate, and they'll just be like the whole screen will be filled. And then I'll press start, and then it'll just freeze again.
You hear the gunshots.
Yeah,
or
you
whatever.
hear all this shit going on. You're like, holy shit. And
This
then
is
it'll go like
crazy.
this. It'll be like, there's 75% of them left. And then it'll freeze again for like another 30 seconds. And there's like, oh, there's 50% of them left. And then once it gets down to like the normal numbers, like 5,000 versus 5,000, you get to see like slow motion battles. But then you start to get in the hundreds and everything picks it back up to normal speed. And it's
Yeah,
like,
and then you're
that
like, oh, this is what I've been here for.
This shit
10
will
minutes
crash
later.
my computer.
I remember using like a shit ton of the World War II guys because they had the guns rather than someone coming up with like a sword and they just get stuck at each other. You know what I mean? Like they can't go too far, but if you have guns, you can just mow them down. And if you have so many of them shooting their guns at once, like it would totally be a lag fest the whole time. Yeah. And it was unwatchable. And you're just like, how is my computer not exploded?
I'm sure they don't use the same program, but I watch like YouTube pages that do basically that, but with bosses from video games.
Really?
Yeah, like I'll watch
bosses?
Like they'll pit, one Dark Souls 3 boss against another Dark Souls 3 boss, and then they'll have them fight, or they'll have like 100 Silver Knights versus like Seath the Scaleless Dragon, and then like they'll just pop off, and it's really cool to watch and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean you can in the game it's like meant to watch when you're seeing it, but you can select any of the characters and you can play as them, and it's like the most basic controls or whatever. I think that's kind of cool.
That is pretty fucking cool, actually.
Why don't they have that for like fucking Lord of the Rings?
Dude, it's been a minute since they've made a solid Lord of the Rings game. They need to just remake the old ones.
Two Towers
for
and
sure.
Return of the King, where like on
100.
Xbox 360,
100
hours and
dude,
hours.
Even on the
gameplay.
GameCube or PlayStation 2, they were fired, bro.
Which ones?
The Two Towers.
I don't know if I would play the Xbox 360 one.
They are making a TV show.
Yeah, it's going to be like the most expensive show ever.
It's apparently about what, the end of the first age or something, when the two blue wizards were there.
It's a second age.
I think it's when the
right,
two blue
Luke?
wizards.
He knows. Luke knows.
So what's it going to follow? Is it going to follow like Rangers or what? Like, is it going to?
Dude,
follow?
I don't know. They could take anybody
Wizards?
from the Silmarillion and just follow it.
Right.
But I just want a Tom Bombadil movie. That's all I want.
Say it again.
Tom Bombadil.
Tom Bombadil. That's
Tom
fun
Bombadil.
to say, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a super fun name to say.
Tom Bombadil.
Tom Bombadil.
Tom
Did I say it right?
Bombadil. Yeah.
Tom Bombadil. That is a pretty cool
Tom
name.
Bombadil.
That's a name you have to say the whole name.
I'm putting that on a business card. If I'm Tom Bombadil, I'm handing my business card to everybody, and that's all it says is Tom Bombadil. On my everybody's gonna be like,
it doesn't say what you do. It doesn't matter.
That is what I do. Tom Bombadil.
I am Tom Bombadil.
Yeah.
That's stupid. That's funny.
That's branding, Patrick.
But who is that?
He's like the spirit of the Shire. He's
Is he a hobbit? That's
yes
a hobbit
and no.
name for sure.
Yes, but no, not really.
Is he like a Gollum type looking ass dude?
No.
Tom Bombadil.
Is he one of the blue wizards?
No, he is not.
I don't know the names of the wizards.
I do know with the new Lord of the Rings show, which is probably going to cringe you out as much as it cringes me out.
Because they're planning sex scenes.
They're planning sex scenes in the show. And
Cyberpunk 2077 lets you pick your wiener size.
Tom
bro.
Bombadil.
Yeah.
That's so why?
Whenever that
why
comes
would
out.
they do that?
I don't know.
Why would
Why
that
not?
matter?
But like I'm thinking about like Lord of the Rings though. That's like PG-13, and I can throw like some sex scenes into it. I mean, I guess there's movies with PG-13 like
Fuck
sex
yeah,
and PG movies.
I want to get a boner, bro.
I want a boner when I'm watching Lord of the Rings.
Boner, bro.
When Tom Bombadil's fucking that spider chick.
Dude, Tom Bombadil's the shit.
Oh wow, he's got an actual like look to him. He looks like a leprechaun almost.
Yeah, man. He's a hobbit, but he's not really.
What does that mean?
He's like the personification of what it means to live in the Shire.
Is he normal size?
Is he the evil wizard over the old forest?
No.
Is he Isengard's fucking wizard or whatever?
No, he lives
Just
in
kidding.
the depth of the old forest, and he's older than the Shire itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like an evil wizard.
He's not
For real?
I read some deep.
Google if Tom Bombadil is evil.
I read some deep.
Wait, is he God?
I read. Look,
God.
I read some tinfoil shit that Tom Bombadil. I forgot his name actually. Now that you mentioned that, it's funny. I read some tinfoil hat shit that Tom Bombadil is actually evil, and he was the first evil before Sauron and all that shit. Look it up. Tom Bombadil evil. Look it up. This dude's an asshole.
Luke's
I'm
building
loving
him up like
this Tom
Right
Bombadil
there.
like
Evil.
Oh my god, I love how it's exploded.
The terrible secret of Tom Bombadil.
Oldest and fatherless.
Wait, what's Tom Bombadil's wife look like?
Hey, he didn't have one.
It said it on the side.
Do you think he's got a mom Bombadil?
He's got a big Bombadil, you know what I mean?
Oh, do you think he's got a very fat ass Bombadil?
For sure. What do you know about Tom Bombadil? He's fat, jolly, and smiles all the time. He's friendly and I don't know what that word is.
Gregarious.
There you go.
And always ready to help travelers in distress. except that none of that can possibly be true.
Dun dun.
Considered by his own account and by Elrond's surprisingly sketchy knowledge, Bombadil has lived in the Old Forest since before the hobbits came to the Shire. Since before Elrond was born, since the earliest days of the First Age, and yet no
This dude's
hobbit has
old.
ever heard of him. Yeah, dude.
No one's ever heard of him?
Yeah, nobody
The
knows
Hobbit?
about Tom Bombadil because he didn't put his fucking name on a business card.
God,
Little
get
did know he was
fucking-
slaying
Bob,
puss,
dude,
you know?
business cards are essential.
What do we
am I-
know about? Okay.
Oh, are we? Am I still reading? Okay.
Well, no, we don't need to know about why the hobbits haven't heard of him. I want to know how he's evil. Where are you getting this from, Josh? Where?
Dude,
How late was it when you found this?
Very late. But it was basically this, saying that he was orchestrating like the war type shit, whatever. And he set it all up to happen, and then he is going to be taking over Middle
Earth.
Yeah, like after everything calms down after the war, he needed Sauron to be destroyed type deal so he could take over.
So you can
Middle
start
Earth.
slaying puss again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how the Old Forest is like super evil, yet Tom Bombadil lives out in the middle of this
Consider
evil forest.
this. It is said that once the willows are the most powerful and evil trees in the forest, yet the rhyme that Bombadil teaches the Hobbit to use in conjuring up Bombadil himself includes the line, by the reed and willow. The willows are a part of Bombadil's power and a means of calling on him. They draw their strength from the cursed river Withywindle, the center of the evil in the forest. Ooh.
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 Yeah. This is a little more articulate than I can put it because I've let it. Yeah, like you said, it
I
was
thought
really
the Hobbit
really
town
late.
was such a happy little place, but now there's like a really dark past to it.
Yeah, Tom Bombadil. So
Tom Bombadil, the sketchy drunken past of the Shire that people don't want to look at.
I read it really late, and all I remembered was there was this evil dude that lived out in the Old Forest that was like older than everything. And now that you brought his name up, and see, I didn't have a business card, and for some reason his name's super catchy, but I forgot it.
Dude,
Tom
LOT
Bombadil.
lore rules so hard.
There's a lot of
It's
really
crazy.
cool things to it, like Morgoth or whatever.
It's
Isn't that
super
one?
crazy. And like the
What's
movies,
the fucking one that is
The place.
the place? Who's more powerful than Sauron? Because he's not the most powerful. There was like some super bad motherfucker. I don't remember his name, but he was like he stood taller than the fucking Tower of Isengard. He was super tall. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know what I'm talking
Well,
about.
this
Maybe I
dude
was
was just
high
like-
up 4 a.m. or some shit.
He was
looking
just
this
like
up.
stupid tall for no reason.
Yeah, the guy was really tall. He was a really tall guy, and he was the boss of Sauron. You
Well,
know,
because there was, like
Sauron was his bitch.
there was the god El whatever, and then he sent the Maiar, which are the angels, down to Middle Earth to start doing shit and guide humans and whatever. And the fallen Maiar, which are like the Balrogs and stuff, the demons. The one fallen Maiar that was of wise, like one of the great wizards, was Sauron, but he was known as another name when he when he separated. It's whatever they call him in the Hobbit movies. I forget who
I
they
don't
call
remember.
the evil guy. In the Hobbit
Necromancer.
movie. Necromancer, yeah.
That was
and
it.
he shape-shifted all the time and shit. But yeah, eventually he became known as Sauron.
That's pretty fucking wild. There's so much weird shit.
If there's
going on
another
there.
evil dude, my lore knowledge on it is just, I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. Honestly,
I know
have no
a
idea what's
lot,
gonna
but
be on.
I don't know everything.
Tom Bombadil is evil. Now you know.
That's gonna probably be the new main villain in the new series.
Tom Bombadil.
$1 billion show. Tom Bombadil
You
is the
think?
main villain.
What a wild... I did not expect Tom Bombadil to be such a hot topic. What else have we got on
Actually,
on the docket?
let's get on to Attack Attack's coming back out. You guys
Attack
want to talk about
Attack
that?
Yeah, I do, actually. Thank you for pointing that out.
Attack. To most of our listeners, would probably make fun of all three of us for listening
Actually,
to.
we just talked about it a few episodes. Oh, with Billy Zimpelman.
With Billy Zimpelman, yeah.
Check that episode out.
But they're like a metalcore band. They created crabcore, basically. But when we were younger, like they were the shit, man.
Dude,
I
I loved
loved
them.
Attack Attack.
Loved them.
And
They were lame,
Bro
though.
Ashley's
if you
here?
didn't like Attack Attack,
yeah, like did you even like music or
lame.
something?
Oh, bro, did you see? Yeah, Bro Ashley's here. Like the whole album.
Bro Ashley's here.
Yeah.
Fucking
Sexual Man Chocolate.
Oh,
Stick
yeah,
Stickly. Stick Stickly. Dude, all of them, man.
I like and then Austin Carlisle before like he got really sick with Marfan syndrome or whatever it was called, and he was in that, and then Caleb whatever the fuck his name is,
Caleb Shomo and
He
Johnny
He didn't
Frank.
step up immediately.
he didn't step up immediately. I didn't think that second album was that good, but I thought that third album they came out with was the shit, and I think it still holds up
Jerry
to this
Roush,
day.
wasn't he in there for a second, or was he? No, he was
in Of Mice and Men.
That's right. Yeah.
I saw them with In Fear and Faith once, and they had he killed it, dude. Jerry Roush is an excellent frontman. I really wish I
saw him
saw
with
Glass
Glass
World.
Cloud.
God, you saw Glass Cloud?
Yeah. Is that what it? No,
Glass
it's not-
Cloud, that's it.
Yeah, it's
I
Glass
almost
Cloud.
said Glass World, but that's a local band.
No, I saw them with Let Live out in Pennsylvania at the Altar Bar.
Dude, I bet that was wild because you had that one guy from the Tony Danza tap dancing.
They had
Extravaganza.
the old drummer. They had they got rid of their bass player and drummer or guitar player and drummer. I
The
thought it
guitar
was-
player is in Amir now.
Yeah, it was a guitar player and drummer. It was
But Glass
all
Cloud's the
original lineup.
shit.
It was amazing. It was awesome.
Anyways,
So Attack Attack is coming back, and obviously for people who are fans of Attack Attack, you're like right away wanting to know if Caleb Shomo from the now incredibly huge and successful Beartooth
super band.
is going to be a part of it, and also if you were a fan of Attack Attack, you probably loved the Cleans, Johnny Frank, if he was going to make a return.
Bill Murray is
Yeah,
his band.
Bill
Yeah,
Murray
Bill Murray.
is so
Internet success,
good.
yeah.
They had
dude.
Stick Stickly too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a thing that one of his songs?
He did
Yeah, he was in it.
Thickly recently.
Oh, Thickly.
Like
that's it.
like on his recent album, and he featured Caleb Shomo. Except he didn't do any vocals. He came in at the very end of the song and said, "Hey, this is Caleb Shomo. This is my guest vocal. Thanks." And then that was the end of the song. Like just
That's
the
so
rap.
funny.
Yeah. But anyways, when the news came out that Attack Attack was coming back, both of them went to their Instagram stories and said, just in case you were wondering, no. Like, no, they are not a part of it.
So that makes me really question, like, who's a part of it? Do you think
Yeah.
Austin Carlisle is making like
I don't,
a return?
I don't
No.
think Austin
Is he
Carlisle is
super
going to return.
sick?
No, he's in another country still, I think, with his wife, and he's doing a bunch of like church readings and shit like that.
He's in another country.
Yeah, you went
doing
to
it?
another country to get
The surgeries and
yeah,
stuff, right?
yeah, and that's where he met his wife, and I think
Yeah.
that's where he still is.
That's so weird.
But but yeah, who do I think is a part of it? I think Andrew Whiting is the one who had something to do
He's
with
the drummer,
bringing it
right?
back. No, he was the guitarist.
Guitars.
Wetzel, Andrew
Brent was
Wetzel was the drummer. I think he might be a part of it. Do I know if Holgado, I forget his first name, the bassist was going to be a part of it? I don't know.
If
I've
it's
hung out
not
with that
the
dude one
original
time.
lineup, why even bother coming back as
Yeah,
Attack Attack?
because they need money. But they did.
only
I'll
other
pull
vo-
it up on
yeah.
YouTube. They did put up
A sample?
a sample, and it's like
Vocals?
yes, with
With
vocals,
vocals?
with vocals.
I'm so curious. I'm wondering if the vocalist that they had right after Austin Carlisle that was in the Stick Stickly music video. Do you know what I'm talking about? He was in there for a brief moment. I wonder if he's been in it.
Oh fuck! I'm just gonna go to Google.
I'm really curious. We're about to give him a quick shout out, Tom Bombadil style.
Before we turned on the
Tom
mics, I
Bombadil.
was telling Patrick to email Johnny Frank from Attack Attack to see if we can
Yeah.
get him on the show.
Let's see if I can email him. I'll figure it out. Why not? You never know who will answer when you message these people. If you got a podcast and you want someone big on or something, just send them a message. He might answer you.
Wow, I spelled everything
Most of the time
wrong.
they don't, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Tawasser? I don't know. I don't know what you
Tawasser?
put up there.
Not teaser, Tawasa. Maybe that's it. See if it's that first one.
It's released. Oh, okay.
We'll see if that's it. Super fascinating that this band that is probably not very well liked anymore. I guess they would get liked now because of the nostalgic value.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious to see. Yeah, All My Life is the new teaser. Let's see. 1,000 clicks later. Okay, it's all the main guys saying, I'm not a part of it.
Here it is.
Got a new logo and everything. 23 seconds. Okay.
I already don't like it.
This is not Attack Attack.
It's not Attack Attack at all.
Oh, let me hear it. That doesn't sound anything like Attack Attack.
Do you think they were sitting in there in the studio and they were like, dude, that fucking rips, bro?
Absolutely they were. Of course they were. Pancake, of course they were.
We played music together for a long time, and you were in Allies for a small, like a month or some shit. But we know what it's like to be in a studio, and like sometimes we'll like. Do you ever like feel like you're hearing music and you're thinking, "Wow, they sat in a studio for hours and they listened to that over and over again. They thought that sounded cool." Lame.
You know what? You know what actually happened? They did not sit in the studio for hours. At this point, each and every single one of them recorded wherever they lived and sent the stems to their engineer.
Because of COVID?
Probably even before that was how they were recording. They just sent their music stems off to their like engineer, and he slapped it all together and threw whatever fucking.
Like they just didn't even give a fuck at all, kind of thing.
Well, no, it's just like they have the equipment, so they record it all at their house. They're like above just showing up to the studio and doing that shit. And like at this point, like Drake's recorded songs off of his iPhone that have been top 10 hits. Like,
really?
Yeah, like recording's just been like easy for people.
Well, like with everything, I mean, it's 2020 nowadays, so you mean it's almost like a bad excuse if you don't have good quality recording shit for cheap,
right?
You know,
so like. That's exactly what they're like. We need to make a comeback. Like, we need to put out some music. Like, if you go and you listen to Beartooth or you go and listen to Bill Murray,
which is so good, both of them.
You're like, this is phenomenal. They took creative rights and liberty and just went with it and tried something new. They tried something great and it sounds good. Then you go listen to this and it's like, dude, you're like 5 years late to this genre that you're trying to jump into, and you're doing a bad job doing it anyway. It's like the most generic garbage.
Yeah.
It's like
the only thing you're running on is your name at that point.
It's like every other band out there is writing that same shit, right? And then they just jump in and they're like, well, we're Attack Attack, and we also write the same shit, but we're Attack Attack, and we're playing it. Not
you know what that reminds me of? You remember the band Confide?
No.
They were the shit back in the day. Early Rise Records band that came out, and they were like a uplifting metalcore or whatever. They did like a fire. I don't know. They did some cover that got them really big. But they broke up for a while, and they were like, they sounded so good at the time that they came out in the early 2010s or 2009 or whatever. It was right around when Chiodos was around, when metal was turning, or that kind of emo music was going into metalcore or whatever. And they broke up for like 10 years. They came out like 4 or 5 years ago with a new album, and they tried to do the same shit they did before. It was awful.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of want them to change a little bit, but like you know what you liked about them, and then you hear them again and they're just doing the same stuff, which is like, that's kind of what I wanted, but it just didn't age well. Not all that music back in the day, like Attack Attack, probably didn't age too well.
No.
Except
that if you listen to the old music that you heard from their like original EPs are still bangers. Like I will still slam some
I can't stop listening to speaking of like
question.
All these bands. I keep listening to We Came as Romans' first album
Dude,
recently.
We Came as Romans has so many like
good songs,
crowd-worthy chant songs, like way too many.
Their new music's still pretty good too. Right before Kyle died.
Yeah, but also it's not the same without Kyle.
I haven't heard any of the stuff without Kyle. I've only heard stuff where
it's
before
good,
he died.
But also it's like,
Yeah. But I keep listening to that first album, To Plant a Seed, and it aged so well. And it was like I remember when it came out, and I used to think it was so douchey to have like orchestra in your breakdowns and stuff, and it was just like, this sounds terrible. But still holds up.
It was awesome at the same time. It was really cool. And anytime that they would put a chant in there, you'd want to chant with it.
For a fact.
And what I appreciate about some of those bands, like if you look at like Bring Me the Horizon, Like prime example. Anytime they put out an album, it was a new sound. Every time they put out that album, and then next thing you know, the next 6 months, everybody was trying to sound exactly like them.
True.
A Day to Remember puts out an album.
Architects.
Every single person tries to sound like A Day to
Architects is good
Remember.
as
Y'all see the new Architect song?
They write shit, and it's just like, kids are trying to write all those same breakdowns. So
Architects is now trying to do Bring Me the Horizon.
when you get a band like Attack, where they kind of started that whole, running in place and like crabcore and like whippy hair, and like they were like kind of, I don't know, like the Kiss of metalcore music. You know what I mean? Like they were
very
the
flashy.
poster boys.
Yeah. So like
or crabcore.
anytime they put out shit, it was like crazy, and everybody wanted to sound like that.
Yeah.
So to take that hiatus, right, and then to not come back with the 2 dudes left on the planet that would make you relevant, and then to sound like regurgitated dog shit that everybody
Just like
else
a bad
had
metalcore
had already been playing for the past 5 years. That's how you do it.
But
That's
see,
how you come back.
This is where they fucked up. Okay, so like, not only did, in my opinion, the talent leave. Like, of course, the musicians are important, but like Johnny Frank's vocals were like iconic, and so were Caleb Shoma's. And not just that, but when they left, they kept doing shit.
Yeah.
Bill Murray is still a thing. It's not nearly as big as
And it just
Beartooth
became a
at
thing
all,
recently.
but it's incredible. Right, and Beartooth is like playing on massive college like arenas, stages. You know what
They're
I'm
getting
saying?
really
Like,
popular.
He's Caleb, like to know his growth from being like 16 playing keyboards for Attack to where he is now. It's inspiring.
That's pretty crazy.
It's beautiful. It really is. But like they kept doing shit. Whereas like, sure, I think Whiting tried to do or like the other members of Attack tried to do like another
Native
band
something.
native
yeah.
and it was whack, and then they fell off. And then
remember the
Whiting
hype.
tried to do some sort of like post-hardcore band, which didn't sound too great in my opinion. And then I think Wetzel did drums for another band that I never heard of before. And I think the bassist stopped doing stuff, but he like caught heat or like had a big thing in like AMV or that AVP, whatever, that magazine about
Alternative Press.
I think he came out. I could be wrong or something like that.
He came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so like that was it. You didn't hear from nobody else. They just like went into the darkness. They didn't like stay in your face. They didn't like, oh, like I want to, like, they didn't keep posting. They weren't in.
They just kind of dropped off the face.
Right. Now to say like they're back and they have some new vocalists that you don't give a shit about. With,
if they tried
like
a
you
little
said,
bit harder,
regurgitated sound,
could have been huge for them.
Right, but like if they just were still posting or like hanging out with other band members or trying to do shit, then like what? They're the 3 of them are coming back. The 3 of them were doing all this other side shit we were supporting them with, and
True.
now they're doing
Right.
Attack. But that's not the picture.
Instead of that, imagine if they came in and did some sort of like new, like
electronic,
progressive electronic rock.
Yeah.
Right. Like
that would fit with them.
Like the whole "Bring Me the Horizon" thing. How "Bring Me the Horizon" is now a dad rock band.
If they went like an IC Stars kind of route,
and like
or
"Bring Me the
something.
Horizon's playing stadiums, bro.
Oh, they're stupid huge.
And these
now.
guys right now, these guys are trying to fucking fight to headline the Attic. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
these guys cannot wait to play a show for 200 people.
You are not fucking wrong.
Why would
sure.
you? Why would you write music like that when you have that kind of platform to launch off of? Your other 2 guys have success, like Beartooth.
That's pretty big
Are they
shoes to
not
fill.
writing like dad rock metal right now?
Hey, but I fuck with it.
But
so
is it not?
hard.
But is it not?
Yeah,
But it's good.
It's pretty dad rock.
But it's good, right?
Yeah.
Good.
So
It's really heavy dad
and
rock.
then you go and
Yeah.
listen. I know, and then you go and listen to Bill Murray, and it's like not really metal, right? He kind of does.
It's
his
so
own fucking
groovy.
thing, and it sounds really fucking good. So why are you gonna come in and do a bunch of jumpy like low tunes,
Most
like,
generic thing you could think of.
Right,
It's
like-
like there was no heart in it at all.
It's like a
from
slap
what I'm
into the
hearing.
face to anybody that cared about you in the first place, because you're like, dude, like You had a chance to
That would be
do
a
what
big
everybody
chance.
else did and just jump it. Like they could have literally done anything else, and
Yeah.
it would have been a much bigger like deal to me.
I'm
I don't know.
picturing what you're saying though, like when it comes to like their sound, what they could have done.
Yeah.
And they totally could have
Missed it.
gone this route, and it could have blown them up because the
Yeah.
name alone, just hearing that they are coming back, and you hear like the teaser, and it's something like, what the fuck? It's like North Lane redoing
But you're
themselves.
still
It's like,
forgetting though.
Shit.
That key sound of theirs was still Caleb. Even when he wasn't doing vocals, he
Sure, he
was
wrote a lot
doing
of that, didn't he?
all of the.
But
Yeah, he wrote
honestly-
it. He was doing the piano bits for the synth
Think
parts
about-
that made you like, oh, this is an Attack song because I heard this synth part. You know
Tell
what I'm
me,
saying?
if you went to YouTube today
Yeah.
and dedicated 2 hours of your time, could you not find maybe 15 different people that you would tell them to be like, hey, come hit me up. We're going to start this band and you're going to be my dad
Easily.
rock. So, like, they could have done that shit.
For
they didn't
sure.
have to come get some, like, dude with, like, size 46 earlobes that works down at Journeys and he's hitting on 16-year-old kids. Like, and then they're like, hey, do you want to...
Very specific.
Do you want to be in my band? And he's like, yeah, bro, what's in it for me? And they're like, fame, dude, and lots of clubs. Dude, we'll play lots of clubs. So, no, they could have gone to you. They could have actually found somebody with some, like, actual talent and did, like, the whole
Spend
dad
like
rock. And
months on one song.
right, just
you know?
actually try. This sounds like I said, they did not actually meet up. They didn't really practice together.
Nah,
The
at
guitar player
all.
was like, yo, I got Pro Tools. I tracked out this guitar riff.
Right to it.
I need the bass player to play it. So it's on the click. I need you to just drop the drums on it, or we're going to program you, one or the other. So the drummer's like, oh, whatever, program me. I'm on vacation. So then they send it off to the singer. He lays his vocals down, and then maybe or maybe not, he's at the engineer's place. They mix and then send it back to him. Like they don't go practice. They don't show up. They don't write together. They don't actually put like, dude.
It's like minimal effort,
it
like
just-
last of my priority kind of shit.
Maybe they did do all of this shit, but it honestly
From
doesn't
what
sound
you're
like
saying and what I heard on that, it just seemed like there was. This is off a 25-second clip that we're totally just breaking this down. It sounded like it was so generic and boring, and it was
Yeah.
just like, man, I've heard this like a billion times in my local community. You know, fuck, like you like I was really expecting something different.
I
like
heard
he
that
was
shit
saying.
10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is this?
Whack.
Whack as fuck.
Whack.
But I am very curious to see what other music they come out with. I think I'll follow it, but I'm not going to really get it.
Could
my
you
hype
have
on it.
imagined though, like the type of impact it would have had if both Caleb and Johnny were a part of it?
That would've
Dude,
been
it
crazy.
would have like been over. Like
That
this
w- it
band would have
would've-
been the new popular.
it would have
It's like
crippled
MCR
people,
almost
dude.
reunion
Yeah,
for
right.
like certain people.
And
you know,
you
for the scene
know.
kids.
You would have seen people put on their like shoelace headbands back
Yeah.
on and shit.
But it would
You
have
would
not,
have
it
seen
would have not
grown-ass
sounded like that. It
My purple
would have
skinny
not-
jeans.
It would have
Shit.
been like the ultimate dad rock band. It
Oh.
would have sounded so fucking good too, though.
Dude, you know what I really love about Bill Murray's songwriting is that it's very poetic almost. That it's not built around this the like 1 + 1 = 2 formula of a song where it's like I've got the verse, here's the chorus, verse 2, bridge, chorus, end. It's like
Is it just experimental where it doesn't repeat
Yeah,
the
it's
same patterns?
experimental.
It's
Like
not
he
verse,
just had
verse, it's not
fun
verse,
with it.
chorus.
he has
It's a
fun.
jam.
Yeah.
It's a jam.
He like gets what he's saying in the song. It sounds great from start to finish, and then it's
But
over.
no choruses kind
Like-
of thing. It just go.
He's
Maybe
got,
like there's a chorus.
Don't get me
There
wrong.
are,
There's
yeah.
songs where he
But
for
think
sure
like
has choruses,
Blink-182.
but yeah.
How Blink-182 would have choruses, or they'd have songs that just kind of went up, down, up, and then left, and it was over. And that's kind of how, I don't know, I guess the Bill Murray songs are...
They're their own thing. You know what
They're-
it makes me
they're-
think of?
They're
they're
original
funny.
for sure.
Some of them are funny, some of them are jokes, some of them are serious, some of them are really like supposed to be catchy, some are supposed to be groovy,
Dude,
some
Brock-
are very poppy, some
Yeah.
have screams on them sometimes. Like,
Is he
it's-
doing all the vocals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he just a one-man band
so
kind of thing?
how many albums do you think he's put out? Like 5? Like
Too many.
Dude, so many. He puts out music like
put
all
on one
the
of his
time.
songs. I'm curious.
I'm about. If you have not been
I've
listening
heard-
to Bill
I
Murray,
heard
I'm
one
about to
song
show you some power.
forever
okay?
ago.
It's crazy, like how much music he puts out and how often he puts it out.
You're gonna.
So,
I'm gonna show you a music video.
like
You'll
I said,
appreciate.
it's everywhere and anywhere, and it's all like good in its own genre. Like, so he's not really like genre
Put on
locked
Thick
either.
Thickly.
I'll show you. I'll show you this one.
I like that he has the most like scene name ever for it.
So in this music video, he green screens his head over the face of drummers, guitarists, and frontmen of like music videos of like scene music from when it first came up. Attack,
It's really
Pierce
funny.
the Veil, fucking Sleeping with Sirens, of Mice and Men.
Sounds really fucking good though.
Just wait.
It's really catchy.
Yeah, dude.
It's on
power,
Spotify because I'm
man.
about to put this shit on, dude.
Yeah.
If
So,
we can
Murray?
get on Spotify, he's for sure on Spotify. Let me tell you that.
No, he's still waiting on the invite. He's like, dude,
He's
how
still being screened.
Cool, I'm
Dude,
did you
following
guys
him.
get on so fast?
It took us like 2.5 weeks to be screened and vetted. Like I had to email this guy like 3 fucking times
For Spotify?
before we were clear to
He's
get on.
probably
there. It
on the
was fucking
3-year waiting
stupid.
list.
Can you, Cody said he listened to like the first episode recently. He said, "Man, we were the cringiest dudes ever." And I'm like, "Man, I can only imagine what Spotify when they listen to it be like." Yeah, we could put this on.
Hey,
Super cringy.
You know, today in the stream, join the stream on Tuesdays. TBS Pod
Let's
Gaming,
talk about that.
Twitch.tv. I had someone in the chat by the name of Tortured Nipple. Yeah, Tortured
Shout
Nipple.
out Tortured Nipple.
They said they were a fan of the podcast. They've been listening since the very beginning.
Really?
Yeah, so shout out Tortured Nipple, whoever the fuck that is. I'm sure you're listening.
Tell us your favorite episodes. Seriously, let's hear about it. That's super
Tortured.
wild. You do Twitch. Let's talk about you guys' Twitch real quick. Cause I'm not into Twitch. I've only done Twitch ever when it was playing scary games by myself.
We're not going to be able to use that camera for Legends, though, by the way.
That sucks.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We have to get a PlayStation legit camera.
Yeah.
I
I have a PlayStation for the VR camera. It's made for. We'll figure it out. We'll talk later. But you do a Twitch stream. Let's hear about that, man. What is this? How do we follow you? And tell me what kind of games you're streaming.
So, I guess this is kind of like a newer development this year. So, like in February, this would have been early February, I built a PC. So, this is like right before the world shut down. I'm like, I'm going to build a PC. I'm going to put some money into buying this PC, and I'm going to make sure I don't have to upgrade it for a while. So, that's like the plan. Make sure, I dumped a little bit of too much of money into it, and that's fine. But I'm like, well, if I'm going to play, I might as well stream. We'll check it out. We'll see what it's going to be about. So I started streaming like, I don't know, like Fortnite or Call of Duty or whatever the popular game was at the time. So it got to the point where I wanted to do something a little more fun. I started meeting some other people. So we set up these stream days. We were gonna do. We were gonna watch like Jerry Springer or Cops or Dr. Phil or Maury. So one of the days we decided to pick was Sundays. We picked Sunday mornings, like super early in the morning. For
What time are you getting up on Sundays
well,
to do this?
at the time we were getting up and getting live at 9 a.m. Right.
Wow.
So the only people that were really watching were like, we had a couple people that would either stay up late in LA that are like watching before they go to bed, or people that lived out in Europe. It would just be a little bit later on in the afternoon for them, and they would just watch. So
they commented on it and stuff.
Yeah,
that's
So
interesting.
it was very whatever. People weren't really watching, but. Then we switched over to Tuesdays, and it started to pick up a little bit. So we pretty much go in, we fire up some Jerry Springer or whatever, and just sit there and shoot the shit, talk about
Josh Pancake is bullshit.
If something's like just me talking shit. If something's pissing me off, I would probably go off and vent about it for about 15-20 minutes, and we'll just riff about it. So. It's pretty fun. So I go by the guise of Kid Bleezus because I rolled a cross blunt once, and I
have too.
Yeah, it was like a whole conversation, like Kid Bleezus, like Bleezus Christ, he died for your sins, this, like this, that, and the other. So like long and short, I ended up with that just being like my gamer tag. So I made that my Twitch handle. So. Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time we usually go. But I wanted to come hang out with Pat today. I haven't seen him forever since pretty much February, like right around the time I built my PC. I came over here and hung out with Pat, and I was trying to talk him into building his PC, and he was like, I will, but I just bought this, and this, and this, and this, and fuck a PC, dude. I got a
Can I tell you about?
Can
I defend myself in this situation real quick? Because I really would like to get into PC. I have a PC. Sean Moore built me one, and he's the fucking man. I have a weird issue with my PC that I can't fix. Okay, it goes black. Why are you laughing? I wanted you to defend myself because I want to play PC.
I'm laughing because back when he said cross-join, I've been stuck on it in my head, right? And when he said like, "Kid bleezes for bleezes Christ who died for our sins," I immediately started thinking of like other inventions, and it like I'm just in another world in my head, and I thought of like a blunt that had a joint through it. And I'm like, I'm gonna make the world's first cross bloint.
That's what it was.
Oh, that's what it
was.
That's what
it was.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I thought you made a bloint.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's basically what we rolled. I rolled it with my buddy Blake. He came in from LA. So we had one wrap. And then a bunch of joint papers, but they were extendo joint papers, and then we had one of those raw rollers. So I rolled up like a significant size guy, and we slid it through there, and put a couple extra papers around to seal it. But yeah, it was, I guess, technically a bloint. So we rolled a cross bloint, and I guess at one point we were talking about Jesus Christ, this dude he died for your sins, feel
It's
free.
incredible. Dude.
So at some point, I was playing Rocket League under the name Sun Bleezes or something like that. And then I ended up being Kid Bleezes at some point. So I just ended up there.
That's fucking awesome.
Just because of like marijuana. It's bad for you.
That's
It makes
so incredible.
Makes you like relax and stuff, and like you eat a lot. So unless you have
makes
like
sex even better, Dewey.
Yeah, and it's not habit forming unless you are a habitual
It's not
person.
habit forming.
Yeah, so like
best
somebody
shit
said,
out
if you're a
there.
piece of shit, you're just gonna be a piece of shit, but you're gonna be a high piece of shit.
Yeah.
So
I don't think there's really that much about it, but with the
it's
PC
not
thing,
addictive, but I definitely smoke every single day.
probably me too. Definitely. But when it comes to the PC though, I was talking to AJ about it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm nervous if I start getting into PC gaming, I will never see my fiance. I just will never see her. I will always
you
be
will
playing.
get her a PC, and then you guys can get in a Discord together and video chat each
That's
other.
so funny. He said that with confidence, like she wouldn't make him spend time with her.
What? No, I mean no. I'm saying I would be. I feel like I would spend all this time playing the PC rather than hanging out with her.
Oh, right.
Because like if
if
I'm playing games or she's playing games, we're hanging out together and we'll play the game together basically. And
You would
if
have
I'm
to
playing
build-
a PC, I'm stuck here unless I put both of them in there, and I
You'd
have to
build two
headphones in or
PCs.
something.
One for you, one for her.
Yeah, I'm thinking about giving the PC to my brother.
I was just telling Sean the other day about needing to like drop some money soon to get a PC for the Twitch thing. To
You
actually
should,
start
man.
making it all legit.
Yeah.
You should, because the
Kid Bleezes, Bastard Sermon,
30
Switch.
series just came out, right? So the 20 series, like the 2070 or the 2080 Ti,
And this is like
those are actually
$1,800.
those are actually cheaper now. The graphics cards and shit.
Oh, okay.
Those are cheaper.
How much are they now? That's another thing. Is like I also don't have like $500 I'm gonna
Right.
throw down
Well,
on this shit.
They're probably like $200 or $300. It depends on which one you're getting. I mean,
Can I ask you how much did you spend on your PC? Because your PC is pretty crazy. Actually, your whole setup that I see on Instagram looks pretty wild, dude. Props to you.
I looked at the receipt the other day. At the end of my Micro Center transaction, it was $1,826.
You see, I don't know about
But
that.
like,
You know,
that's what I mean. Like, I wanted to make sure that now I spent that. So within 10 years, I don't need to spend anything else. Because like the new gen of Xbox is coming out, and they're like, oh my god, 60 frames a second, 4K. But I'm like, but I can already do that. Like, I'm fine. I'm running like 140 frames a second. Like, I'm good.
No, it makes sense why
So,
having a PC is a superior engine. But I also hear a lot of people in the PC Master Race subreddit. It's one of my favorite subreddits, by the way. And sorry, kind of hates on the PC world. But
pretty
if they
funny.
talk about how man, I fuck your $60 game. I spent $250 to play this one game a little bit better or whatever, and it's just
Yeah.
like, is it really worth it? Like seeing a couple extra pixels or
Dude,
whatever?
I have this one friend. He is super obnoxious. He's like, my eyes are super sensitive, and I can just see like frame differences. And I'm like, fuck you, you
So-
can. Like, go
Yeah,
to,
right, dude.
Don't get me wrong.
suck a dick.
Like that shit is cool. Like you can actually see a little bit of a difference, right? It's in it, and like I noticed a big difference going from my Xbox to a PC, like a huge difference for me, right? Because I was going 30 frames a second on my Xbox to 140 frames. You're definitely gonna notice.
Well,
like,
that's such a ridiculous difference. Of course, you
definitely
would see
gonna know.
that.
So I noticed, right? So already, I was the new console and everything. Like I just don't see the value in it because every single game that's gonna come out on Xbox, I can get on PC right now.
Yeah.
Every single game that's going to come out on the PS5 or whatever they're going to call it, PS97, whatever. I don't know. What is it? The PS5?
PS5?
Yeah. The wireless router looking thing. After about 6 months of those games coming out, they're going straight to PC. There are games exclusively on Steam. There's games on PC, Xbox Game Pass. There's games on Riot, Epic. There's games everywhere that I can play on PC that maybe I can get on PlayStation, maybe I can get on Xbox, but I can guarantee I can get it on PC, and it's going to look better than whatever other counterpart I can get it on. And at some point, I'm going to be able to play with both of those people, if not both of them at the same time. So that's where the advantage of having the PC comes in. A, it's always going to look better. B, your connection's always going to be better. C, you're going to be able to play pretty much any game that you want to. So that's why I justified getting a PC. It wasn't just like I'm going to go play Call of Duty and I want the extra 80 frames advantage on somebody so I can snipe them in the face. It's like I wanted to go play golf with friends and turn around and then play Minecraft, then turn around and play Halo, and then turn around and play like a Nintendo 64 emulator all within the same day without having to switch HDMI ports or turn on a new console or even buy a new console to even do that thing in the first place. So that's why the $1,800 for me was justified.
No, it makes sense.
yeah, it does make sense.
What were we going to say, Luke?
I was just gonna say that most people just get consoles because it's like the price, the almost no maintenance at all, and the convenience of it. Because to operate a computer, to keep it up and not like have it crash or have any.
It's got to be like your baby almost,
right?
You know?
And there's
I just turn it off
most
every night.
people in America are like big dum-dums, and they're just like, nah, I just want to press OK, press button, and be fine. I don't want to have to like. I don't want to get. I don't want to get pop-ups. I don't want to deal with the possibility of a virus. I just want it to turn on and work.
I think a month ago, I took off the side panels and cleaned everything out. I cleaned the dust out of it.
Well, it's like your baby, you know? So, I mean...
Young baby.
But I can do that. And then, at this point, the parts that I have in there since the new 30 series came out, I can get even cheaper now. So it's cool.
Right
so, like, if my graphics card goes out, I'll just upgrade it.
And I can get a price of $500.
No, probably like $300.
It's still like, that's a whole console. That's a whole console for me, bud.
Yeah, but it's like, but it's not though. It's like two consoles because it's like the console that just came out and
How
then
often
its
you replacing
predecessor.
parts?
So like, never. I haven't replaced a single part.
I'm saying like if you want to upgrade and stuff, like let's say, oh man, this graphic card.
If I wanted to upgrade to be
how often are you doing
the
it in a
next
year?
time that my graphics card would be in jeopardy of being dated software would be the console after the console that just came out. So
damn.
Right. So I mean, the max you're going to be pushing 60 frames, or not 60 frames. You're going to be pushing, what was it, 120 frames at 4K.
Does your computer like smoke at all?
I could do 144 frames.
That just seems like too much.
But like at this point, if you
want
want
how many frames per second do your eyes move? I think it's like 90.
A billion.
90 frames.
Infinity.
Maybe I'm probably totally wrong.
That's what I'm. So if I want a graphics card, like if I want to go get, so the 3090 is supposed to do 90 frames, I think, at 4K or 8K. Sorry, I think 90 frames.
8K sounds
or 60 frames at 8K. It's something like that.
I don't know,
but it's 8K, right? So
I was close. Some experts would tell you the human eye can see between 30 and 60 frames per second. Some maintain that it's not really even possible for the human eye to perceive more than 60 frames per second. So, like, 144. It's hard for me to picture, but I bet it's really cool.
Well, think if you can only see 60 frames per second and your game is feeding you
I'd vomit.
144 frames a second, right?
Feedback overload.
So let's say normally your game's only giving you 60 frames per second and you can only perceive 60 frames per second, but you're not receiving the same 60 frames at the same exact time. So at some point there's an overlay. Maybe you're processing only 40 to 45 of the 60 frames that are actually sent to your eyes. So at 144 frames a second, you're having more opportunity to process 60 uninterrupted frames.
That makes sense. No, that makes sense. No, I totally understand. It's just it's so expensive. And meanwhile, I'm saying all this shit as I'm about to drop like $1,000 on both PS5 and Xbox Series X whenever I can get my hands on them.
Same.
God, you can't find them anywhere.
PlayStation first, though, for me.
I think so for me too. There's not enough on the Xbox for
There's
me to justify
nothing
it.
on the Xbox that makes me want to get it. I
Halo
mean, all
looked
my
like hot
friends are
shit.
gonna be on there to like talk via
Dude,
party.
Halo's
but
going to be
that's
dope.
not
I'm
enough.
excited for Halo.
Hey, I have not seen a single thing about this new Halo to get me excited.
I'm remaining
Yeah,
Not
the
even
directors
that-
have been leaving it.
Not
actually.
even the
Well, my
gameplay
buddy-
got me excited because the gameplay was just like it was Halo that I've seen already, except he has a grappling hook
and a map.
See, so my friend brought up a good point. He said the game should have already been out by now.
Facts.
So the director had planned his retirement by a specific date, which had been after it was supposedly supposed to have already been out.
True, because
So his
of
departure
bad
from
release, bad trailer, gameplay trailer.
Yeah, so his planned departure could have already been in motion, and they had somebody come back. Now the second guy walking away, I don't know what all that shit's about. I really don't know.
I just know there's a couple people leaving. I
But
don't know why.
they're supposed to make it like not like Destiny, like you're gonna load it up and be like, holy shit, I'm playing Destiny.
I hate
But
that Destiny type gameplay.
it's gonna be where
Yeah.
they're infinite expanding, where there's gonna be seasons, where there's gonna be new lore and events happening and new whatever, blah 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 blah. So I'm excited to see what it's about, and I know they're gonna have a multiplayer element, and that's been like my favorite part about pretty much every Halo game.
for sure.
Is when you pop in and play multiplayer and you just snipe somebody's fucking head off. Like
This
that's
is
love-hate
the one
relationship.
thing that I absolutely hate about what they've decided to do with their multiplayer. So like the multiplayer is just downloadable for free. You don't need to buy the new game. If you have Game Pass, go ahead and download it. You get to play it. Also, the cosmetics are like Fortnite. They're like just buy them. You don't really earn them.
And this is for Infinite.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds so fucking garbage.
See,
Damn.
That sounds
miss
miserable.
going in and like grinding the like
Thank
story and having to get
Thank
the
you.
certain skulls
Skulls.
and then
Yeah.
to get the Hayabusa armor with the sword on your back and shit. Like
Thank
I
you.
miss
The
having to do
flaming
that shit.
hat.
Instead of like, yo, mom, let me get like 10,000 V-Bucks. I need to buy, an
H-Bucks.
pickaxe.
The color purple.
Let me-
Halo bucks.
Yeah, let me get some Cortana titty
I need
milk, mom.
Spartan dollars.
I need some Cortana titty milk, mommy.
I need a couple ounces of Cortana titty milk to buy some new Halo cosmetics.
Yeah, they're
I
going
need
through a bunch of shit
olive
with
drab. So like, yeah, and like every company. So the brilliant strategy, right, for companies in general is release your game right for free and say it's free. Give everybody the stupid competitive content for free where they're like, I gotta play this fucking shit, but have their content that makes the playing PvP gated behind paid content. So that's where, like in Destiny, raids come in, or certain strikes, or certain events, or certain skins and shit. They lock it behind a paywall, so you pay for the season pass. And then you get specific lore content with that as well. And you're like, oh, God, I'm satisfied. I spent $40 for like a couple quick little banger missions.
Yeah.
You know
And
what
then,
they should do?
And then you play a raid, and then you get a weapon that's just a little bit better than the rest. So they're going to do that with Halo, and they're going to really milk it. So
I hate
they're
it.
going to free-to-play type shit,
hate
but
it.
then they're going to, the paid content is going to be stretched out so far over so long.
You know what
That's
they
a
honestly
fact,
should
yeah.
do, which would I feel like in order to get player attention, like money obviously has just been a big controversial thing, but if these things want to have like a 10-year game or something, they should have like a whole shit ton of cosmetic unlockables, or like, hey, you can unlock this special mission or something if you beat this boss, if you log in between this date of the weekend and this day of the weekend, and if you beat that boss, you get this extra content, and then other than that, you'll have to pay for it. or like maybe not even pay for it. I think the microtransactions bullshit. I think paying for DLC makes sense, but like when it comes to like
You know what I think they
things
should
looking
do?
at, it's just shit.
I think they should make a 13 mission campaign fucking game, and then I think they should have some basic ass fucking multiplayer with simple skill ranking like they did in goddamn Halo 3, and shut the fuck up with anything extra. And stop trying to follow the path of anybody else. Stop trying to be a BR Halo. You're not a fucking battle royale. Just get back to your roots. That's why people like
God,
you.
Battle Royale
Stop
would ruin
fucking
it.
riding Fortnite's cock. Get out your fucking mouth and put in that Covenant dick right back in your ass.
Cortana titty milk.
Jesus Christ,
Yes,
man.
I want to buy shit with ounces of Cortana titty milk now.
God damn it.
Totally. I absolutely agree with this.
I hate it.
Let's move on to the next thing. What are
what do we
tickle
got?
wars, Josh?
Holy shit. Okay, so
give me. I don't really know much about it.
I
I've never
haven't.
even
Okay,
heard of it.
I haven't seen the whole.
Oh my god.
Oh,
No, there's
that
a
doesn't look
Tickle
like
War
a good time.
So
that looks
look up,
like a danger.
Look up competitive
situation.
competitive tickling.
Two guys laughing on the
No,
ground together.
that's a child. That is a child.
That's not. That's
What?
not.
What's Tickle Wars?
No,
This
it's
man-
not Tickle Wars.
We
It's,
need the
it's
police on this.
Tickle
guy.
porn. Is that it?
No, it's competitive tickling.
Is this going to be like that one time you came over our house, Josh, when we were younger,
It's-
and you just pulled up the nastiest
It's a
porn you could
documentary.
think of?
Look, there it is. Tickled. 2016 documentary, competitive endurance tickling. So look up the official trailer of Tickled. It was just down there. Scroll down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. First video right there on YouTube.
Tickled official trailer.
Oh my god.
So it was
2
like
million
this
views.
deep state like German fetish thing, dude. And they were like threatening to kill these people and shit. Like it got crazy.
Interviewed anyone that looks like you before?
Really?
That dude looked like he was like auditioning for gore.
Yeah. Yeah. This
He was a
dude,
stunt double for the main Gore act.
This dude looks insane.
Really?
I've made a career out of looking at the weird and bizarre side of life.
A director trying to make a personality out of himself.
Video online, I knew I'd found my next story.
CET, competitive endurance tickling group we got here.
Competitive endurance tickling. It was one of the strangest sports.
This
I've
is
seen.
really
So I
strange.
told Jane O'Brien Media I'd like to
It's
do
just
an
like,
interview.
looks like
Instead
high
of
school
giving me
wrestling,
yes
but
or
it's
no,
like these
I got
dudes
this.
that are sitting on top of each other just tickling each other.
Yeah, I watched like 90% of this.
Oh, but they're homophobic.
It was hard to take the insult seriously.
Hold on. Pause this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so look at this fucking image right here where they're like grabbing each other's thighs. This looks
all right.
And they're supposed to be
the
picture
straight
exactly.
athlete males.
The picture exactly is like, I don't know, some
Someone's
sort
laying
of
down.
like queen-sized bed maybe, and there's a young boy, 3 young boys. They're all in Adidas like soccer outfits,
yeah.
like high
Dude.
shorts, and they got like the striped tops with like Under Armour underneath on the red one, I guess. But 2 of them are straddling another one,
who's strapped down. I just
strapped
noticed.
to the bed, corner to corner. And it doesn't
some
look
BDSM
good.
straps.
One's got like a GoPro to get this reaction, and he looks serious. He looks like he's about to whip this. That's a boner, and put it right into that mouth.
Looks like he's titty fucking his
Look at
dude
this
while the
guy.
other one's riding his dick.
Look at this guy. This is uncomfortable.
And he's rubbing his thigh like really close to the crotch. I mean,
And
but then they're homophobic?
They're like, we can't have a gay reporter around us, dude. We'll get too
Yeah,
fucking
they
hard.
do bring that shit up.
What the fuck are you talking about?
So like the Jane whatever company, they send out these 3 guys to like meet this guy. And it like gets weird, and they like make passive threats at him and shit. And this guy was one of the like tickle athletes and shit. So like they send him threat. It's like a weird ass fucking story. Like watch the documentary.
Here, let me hear
actually
this.
like
The money is endless.
This
Oh, there's money in it. Being
Yeah.
tickled.
they got paid like
Torture
$3
tickled.
grand per event.
To be tickled?
They're everywhere.
And at some point, these boys
Tickled.
say, "I'm done."
Dude,
The
this
thing
looks
that
like
she hates the
torture.
most was no. It was like
This dude had fucking like 5 dudes
Hold
on
the-
him tickling his
hold
ass
the
while he's strapped
fucking
down.
phone, dude. Hold the phone, man.
no. I'm done. The think
You see this face? This is the face of a man who's done being tickled.
He's like, I cannot be tickled anymore.
Get a picture of this man's face. We need it for the gram. This is a face of a man who's just been tickled by 6 other grown men who have been straddling him and tickling him for at least 45 minutes to an hour, if not more.
He's like, I'm tickled out, dudes.
I'm tickled
I sent
out.
it to the group. I want you to share it.
I've had enough.
the thing that she hates the most was no. It was like a bomb went off.
Your phone number and your personal information are entirely known and subject to publication on the internet.
All hell broke loose.
Oh, hell no. I'd be scared if I got that message.
Every other site you could imagine.
It's like a tickle rape almost.
What do you think your mother's gonna think about this?
We're shooting a documentary.
I understand what you think you're doing.
Tickling's weird, man.
Jane O'Brien's a ghost.
She was murdered.
See, like, that's
by
the thing is,
tickles.
like, I don't really like being tickled. So when people tickle me, I just kind of like turn it off. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of like, I don't enjoy this. So I'm like, I just kind of
It's
lay
like
there.
it's a form of panic.
Yeah,
is what the scientific way of saying it.
being
like it's
tickle
just
is?
like it's just being a sort of panic. I don't know why. It's an instinct. By the time tickled is faded out, no one is laughing.
All right. How many U.S. senators do you think is linked to this organization?
Oh, let's see.
9.
Mitch McConnell for sure. You see his
McConnell without
hands
question.
lately?
McConnell is a part of everything. That's how he knows everything.
Yeah, he's a tickle
So,
guy.
oh man, what is there?
Dude, that's
what's going
so
on tonight?
crazy that
That's
they're
super
like
weird.
like that is such an interesting subsect of gay, like where they're like they would
It's
rather
homophobic,
like
dude. No gays
like
allowed.
kill and do anything to like withhold the information that there's anything homoerotic about
Like,
this.
we don't enjoy this with our
competitive
penises.
tickling. Right.
We like this because we're men and we like winners.
And
we
if
like
you fucking
tickling.
say I come to this, I will fucking shoot you, and no one will know about it, and I'll hide your body, and
Yeah.
you'll never
If
get
you
a
ever
proper
expose
burial.
my
we'll
tickling
stick our
secret.
wieners in you when you're dead because
And-
we're
yeah.
men and we'll show you disrespect.
Because
gay.
we're also into that kind of weird
Not
stuff
gay.
too.
Yeah,
you didn't
I
ask.
have to reiterate,
you
yeah,
didn't
it's
a-
not gay.
You didn't ask
No
about
homo.
that stuff earlier, but we're
Mark-
also into that too.
Jesus Christ.
So
Fucking
It's
God.
really that
yeah,
I don't
and
even know what to
then
say about that. That's just can you
this,
imagine
like,
if you're
oh,
getting paid
God,
$3,000,
it's-
it's got to be torture.
It's so crazy.
What's it on?
It's
Is it on Netflix?
I'm not sure where I watched it, to be honest with you.
Magnolia.
It's on the Magnolia
Look
streaming
up,
service.
just Google it, tickled, and I think it was either on Netflix or Amazon.
Where can I watch Tickled?
Whoops.
Hulu. There you go.
Okay.
Dude, this whole thing reminded me, and I said it right before we started talking about it. This one time you came over my old house that we used to party at all the time, and you and PJ decided to make us look up like the most fucked up porn we could find.
Which ones did you end up finding?
Well, the thing is that they haunted me for a long time.
Yeah.
I really don't want to look this up, by the way, Luke, so please don't. German milk fetish, which was like this girl sitting in a tub and was chugging a gallon of milk, and then she got throat robbed.
Oh yeah,
And
dude.
she was
ew.
puking white stuff,
Do you
white
remember
mucus.
the
Oh, it's awful.
One Priest, One Nun? Was that one of them?
No, what was that?
I'm not gonna watch that one.
Well,
No.
what happens?
Well, so I don't know. This girl's slinging some like German, talking about like purging the demons from this
Penis
priest or
Yeah.
whatever. So pulls his pants down and like sucks on his butthole, and you see her. She's talking like still speaking German, and you see her cheeks kind of go after he farts, and he
farts.
Yeah, he
They're
farts,
farting the
and
whole
like her
time, or-
cheeks go, and he sticks his head like, and then he just starts shitting again and again and again, and like her mouth fills up, and she's like, oh, and like
But she's
he just
into
like
it?
he like crams her head into. I mean, like she's paid
What?
to be into it, right? So like he's like holding her head there, and she's like, "Ooh, guten poo type shit. So like, nobody in their right fucking mind actually likes that shit, right? So, but she's like, she's into it, like for the thing, I guess. Like, I don't know, dude. It's you'll have to see it in your own.
I don't want to see it.
No, listen here,
Look
buddy.
it up.
You
Listen
have
here,
to,
buddy.
No, I'm not looking that shit up.
Look it up.
But you have to be into it at least a little bit to be paid enough to do it.
Yeah, and you've had to have tried it at least once before to be into something that extreme.
Because hear me out. If it's something you would never do, no matter how much money it is, you would never do it. Because it'd be like $500 million, and you press this button, and we genocide an entire small country. Like, you would either have the bone in your body to commit genocide, or you don't.
What if they said $500 trillion and every giraffe in the world gets fucking decapitated?
You drive a hard bargain.
Like,
no.
And it gets televised. Every single individual giraffe gets televised.
Like, okay,
guess who's a 500 trillionaire?
If they're killed, kind of like
Me.
you
Me.
would kill giraffes?
Not me. I don't have to kill them.
Oh, okay.
But they get televised,
you're right.
beheaded by like whatever kind of samurai sword they got to cut.
Whatever blade they have.
If they were killed in the same fashion the actors were in Too Many Cooks, then I would.
I love that.
Then I would do it. Where
If
it's
you
like
get a chance,
too
look that
many
video
giraffes, and it's just that like balding
many
dude
giraffes.
with like a fucking machete, just like one swiping these
Or it's
giraffes'
dull and
heads
it
off
doesn't go all the way
right the
through.
fuck
Imagine
off. And he's just
guillotine
gotta-
for giraffes.
Guillotine
Could you imagine
for
how tall that would have to
giraffes?
be?
Oh my god! Can you
Well, it'd
imagine
be the
the
same
thunk,
size.
like the tree fall sound, like from the base, just like hitting the ground, and then the head just like falling.
And there's
slow?
baby giraffes underneath where the landing zone is,
Oh
so
my
the
God.
neck just fucking kills
Well, they all
the
got
babies.
they all got beheaded too. But I got $500 trillion.
Eventually.
And I'll clone some giraffes from their
How?
DNA, and I'll bring them back because DNA science. I have
Can
500.
clones
I have
re-
more money than the whole world.
Can-
500.
I'll make it.
$500 trillion. You mean to tell me I can't do shit? I'm making giraffe clones.
500. How much?
Trillion. 500 trillion.
I thought you said
Josh, you'd be like a
500
supervillain.
million. I'm the richest.
I have $500. I'm the richest man in the room, bitch. No, I got $500 trillion. Jeff Bezos is like almost the richest man in the world.
He is
right?
the richest. He's got like
He's
120
well. I mean,
billion.
sorry.
I
He's
thought
the-
there was some dude in it.
He's the first
He's the
man
richest.
to almost be the. He's almost the first one on paper to be a trillionaire.
In 2026 is when they'll predict that he'll be a trillionaire.
Right. So I will be that times 500.
So like,
So-
he would be. You'd be the two priests. He'd be the nun in your scenario.
So
money
it takes
wise.
1,000 million to make 1 billion. Like scaled like $500 trillion. I would be able to do literally anything, and I would never feel an impact on my money. And no matter where my money went, inevitably my money would have to make money because of how much money there is.
You would die before you ever made a dent in your money.
So I would be able to recreate giraffes. I would just be like,
Dude,
look, we're
You
gonna
have
take
unlimited money.
Hear me out.
we're gonna
hear
take
me out.
horses and CRISPR that shit till we get giraffes. Here's some
Actually,
DNA.
we have Google right here, so I can look it up. I didn't know if clones can reproduce. I have
That's a
hiccups.
really
Fuck.
good question.
The one clone died before they could figure any of that shit out. The sheep, it died from some unrelated
No,
shit.
there's a
But they
lady-
clone
there's
puppies and shit all the time,
Barbara
though.
Streisand or whatever.
No,
the fuck
not
her-
at all. A clone produces offspring by sexual reproduction, just like any other animal. A farmer or a breeder can use natural mating or any other assisted reproductive technology,
So- There was
some
such
lady
as
that
artificial insemination
baby,
or in vitro fertilization. To
Would it be
breed
fucked up
clones.
to use clones for like harvest
Masturbation?
for organs and shit? Would it
Like
be-
The Island, like the movie The Island.
Yeah, would it be unethical to make like so? Let's say you could make like a donor body, but it didn't have a consciousness. Like you could make it.
Oh, then if it doesn't have a consciousness, I feel like
but
it's
how do you
weird.
how do you guarantee that though? Because like if you grow a brain,
They're in a coma.
How do
or
you, but how do you know? How do you know the brain doesn't? What
They have
does
no
it,
head.
What does it take
This-
to generate a conscious? Because you need the brain to be active so it doesn't decay. You
Listen
know?
here, this was the dilemma I came across when I first watched Avatar. You son of a bitch.
Which
You
one?
fucker.
The
James-
with the
James
blue
Cameron
people.
one?
James Cameron. Because when they were like, we're gonna be inside these bodies, and they were just floating in there. Fucking hate these hiccups. I was like,
You have hiccups?
Did they abduct these things and then they like elaborated that they grew them? And I'm like, did they ever wake up at any point? Like, what's happening? Are y'all just possessing them? Are like when you go back into your human bodies, are they screaming out in the wilderness like because they've never been awake or alive on
That's
their
a good
own?
point.
Like
The blue things? No,
Yeah.
they're like
robots.
So
aren't they?
they treat your conscious.
They're like
in that movie.
Gundams?
They treat that conscious in that movie like a satellite signal. So unless you
Yeah.
have a cable receiver box.
That's a plot hole right there.
You're
though,
not getting the
because
signal. So
at
the bodies, they're just like drones. You like send your mind into it via satellite signal. You're like Bluetoothing the body.
Listen though,
Right.
Listen to that's wrong because the reason that's wrong is because at the end of Avatar, the dude decides to stay as an Avatar dude,
Yeah.
and
because the tree transfers his mind.
He
Based on your
sent
theory,
his mind into the tree.
So, like, can his regular body die at that point?
Yeah, his regular body could die, but he sent his signal to the tree, and it made a copy of him.
Oh wait,
and
the
then,
tree is
and the tree
the soul, is
uploaded
what you're
into his
saying.
body. Yeah, because they laid him at the bottom of the tree, and then he took over the other body at the end.
So is Sigourney Weaver in the tree? Like, is she going to be the Jesus Christ in the sequel? Is she going to like
Did she
revisit
die?
him in like a
She
white
probably
dress?
came twice.
Wait, did she die as
A human.
She died as a human?
Yeah.
That
There's
sucks.
two comings.
What?
There's two comings.
There's
There's
my
a
God,
second
I'm
one.
so excited.
Yeah, there's two. There's actually supposed to be 5 Avatar movies altogether. 2 of them are being filmed
Except
right now.
he's going to be
they
fucking
actually
long
filming
dead
them?
before we even get a trailer for number 3.
Well, he went down
Yeah.
to one of the deepest areas in the Marianas Trench, and
James Cameron?
the Challenger. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that-
Challenger.
I
actually,
am
watched
so
that.
excited for this sequel because I hear it's supposed to be water based, and that jungle
True.
life was incredible. I
Oh,
can
yeah.
only and I'm
A
an
water
adult
world?
now. I was not an adult when the first one came out. I am
Same.
definitely eating acid on the second one. You bet your sweet ass. All those
having an
crazy,
edible for
beautiful
sure.
like lights, the animals, except. Actually, might send me into a terrible panic attack because it's the deep ocean and there's probably
Yeah,
just
dude,
as
I'm gonna need to
terrifying
bring, like,
shit.
a knife or something.
Dude,
like a
imagine
harpoon.
whatever type of like horse thing that they link up though. Do they like swim inside of like a fish and then they link up inside like the brain cell and they control the fish or
Dude,
something? Like what's happening?
If it's all like in the water, like what if there's like avatars with like gills and shit, and they're like sea people?
That's probably
You
what it's
know?
gonna be.
Yeah,
Is they're
man.
gonna be like mermen kind of deals, you know?
I'm
and
really
they could swim deep
curious.
in the water. And dude, James Cameron was down inside of a fucking
nah, dude.
super deep, dude.
Yeah.
like how deep? And like
Didn't they stay
a
down
little,
there until like something cracked, and then like
and it
they
was,
like,
like,
are
little.
going up and took
It
4
was-
hours?
It was little, like the capsule he was in, like was like a 1 or 2 man size thing, like they just dick to dick kind of deal. Like, dude, that's so crazy. And to
Yeah.
just
Look
trust
at how deep he went.
and to just trust
Cameron.
that it doesn't like collapse around you.
It's all science, baby.
I think it was like 1.4
Science.
miles, was it?
Well, like you go so deep in these particular instances, dude. Like it could take hours to get up to the surface. Like I remember, I don't know if it was him, but there was someone that was. He was. I don't know if he was the deepest, but someone took 4 hours to get to the surface. They went down. It took them forever, and then they heard something crack in the ship because of the tremendous pressure, and they just like, okay, we're going up because that could kill them all.
Yeah.
It took them 4 hours.
They made it 35,756 feet.
That's like 7 or 8 miles. Because a
Jesus
mile is like
Christ.
2,700 feet or some shit, right? So if you multiply, yeah,
No,
that's probably.
I think it's like 5,250.
No, I'm thinking yards, maybe.
Yeah.
I might be thinking yards.
Dude, this is crazy.
Pretty sure a mile is about 5,200.
Look up how many miles is 35,787 feet. 'Cause I'm curious. I need to get to the bottom of this. How mant?
700 what?
I don't know. It's 35,700, whatever. How mant miles is 35,735 in? Stupid.
I'm high. What am I looking for?
What are we looking up now?
Convert it. It's got to be
How many
converted to
miles
feet.
is inches
and feet?
Feet, dude. How
Oh
many?
my God,
How many
dude.
miles is 35,735 feet? Fuck, man. 6.7 miles. That's fucking long.
Yeah,
That's wild.
5,280
Hey, but also
feet.
fuck the ocean.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, fuck that. No, the ocean's a terrifying place. And like
That's a fact.
No matter what point and what depth you go to, there's always something there that wants to eat you. Right?
Always.
It might not
for
be
sure.
immediately everything around you, right? So everything around you, for the most part, can pose a danger. Like
Facts.
coral reef, very sharp. Anemones can sting you.
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish can
Sharks.
sting you. They're not predators, but like they can hurt you. Man of wars can paralyze you, and then you have the
Dolphins
things
can
that
rape
like
you.
yeah, dolphins can rape you, and they have rape caves, and they drown you for fun. And then you have animals that like
Hold on, is that real?
Yeah,
look
it's
up-
totally real.
yeah,
Hold
dolphins.
on, keep going.
and then you've got shit that hunts you down. They're like, I want to eat you. So like at no point in time do I feel safe down there.
The only time I would feel safe is if I can see everything. And I went to Jamaica one time when I was working at the bank. When I was working at the bank, I won this.
No. You can get directions.
Dolphin rape cave.
I am fucking weak.
There's like 9 of them. The
There's
Candy
so
Factory.
many dolphin rape caves. Oh my god.
Rape
what-
hot zone.
Whoa, dude, it's out in the middle of nowhere. There's a rape cave.
I'm never taking
What's
my
the
boat
Candy
there.
Factory?
Oh my
Dolphin Rape People Street Campaign
Jesus
HQ.
Christ.
What the
That might be
fuck?
where they raise awareness.
fuck is this?
What the fuck? Anyways,
Oh my
but I went
God.
in Jamaica and I got to scuba dive out or snorkel out there, and they had like the see-through bottom of the boat, and you're going over the reefs and shit. And
Oh,
the
that'd
water
be
is so
sick.
it was super cool, but the water was so clear you could see hundreds of feet down or hundreds of feet away, you know. And you would look down, and you would see these sharks just hanging at the bottom of the reef, you know. But they weren't like the sharks that were swimming around like Nerf sharks or whatever, but like the sharks
Nerf
that just
shark.
hang out at the bottom of the, you know what I mean? They just sit in one spot and
Yeah.
like they sleep or something.
Yeah.
But in the aquarium, you think they're like, oh, they're only like this big, you know, it's so small. But in the wild, like their heads are like 3 feet wide or whatever. And then you get in the water and you can see hundreds of feet around you. Like I said, it's just so clear. I felt pretty safe there because I feel like I would see something
Right.
if it came up on me. But if I was in like completely deep blue abyss below me, I think fuck all that, dude. I would love to do a
Yeah.
shark cage sometime, but I'm even skeptical on that. You know,
But what if you saw something coming? What would you do?
there's nothing you can
But
do.
see,
But
what if
then
you
you know
didn't?
it's coming.
Because it's a 4D. It's like every direction. There's
It's
no
danger.
There's
No
no up
sound?
and down to them. They can come at you literally at any angle, any direction. You would have no idea, nor could you defend yourself.
And you
like,
wouldn't hear it at all.
accurately.
Pat
Right.
said he felt comfort by knowing he would see something.
If I
coming
could
up
see
to him.
the ground, you know,
So, like-
if I can see literally everything around me, like
But
when
if
I was in
it's just, like,
Jamaica, I
deep
could see the
blue-
corals, and it was like 100 feet down, and then
But-
I could see for hundreds of feet around me, and it was crystal clear. But if I
Something
see
like 30
murky
miles
blue-
an hour, man, like them sharks can come in fast.
well, I was also with like 20 people, so
That is a lot of extra bait.
I was fine.
The odds.
There were jellyfish though that came by, like a swarm of jellyfish that came by, and I was freaking out because I felt them behind me and I didn't see them come up, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's so many jellyfish!" And they said, "Don't worry about it, they don't sting." And you would just sit there and float, and the jellyfish would go around you, and you'd feel this weird jelly fucking pressure on your sides. I don't know how to describe it, but it was like one of the weirdest feelings ever, feeling these things like go up against you in the water against the current.
These things are aliens.
They're totally fucking aliens.
Dude, what
Same
the fuck?
with octopuses.
Like, how did they just become? You know what I mean? What
They're
what
simple
started
life
to
forms.
evolve and was like, this is the way we need to be?
And I'm pretty sure most of them are, maybe I'm wrong, like immortal. You know, don't
There
they live
is
as long
not
until
all
they
of
die?
them.
Aren't
There
lobsters
is-
immortal?
There is
Yeah, pretty
one
much.
jellyfish that is mortal. It molts itself and grows back into another jellyfish again. So the crazy, dude, there's just like so many crazy animals.
Oh, for
and it's
sure.
like, where the fuck? And like the cuttlefish, they're like, they only live to be like
cuttlefish.
5 years old, but they're like really smart for animals. And the octopus,
You know-
are
There's
really smart.
literally animals that are immortal.
Yeah, like a water bear is one of those things. They're like microscopic or whatever.
Hold up, is this saying a bowhead whale?
What did
is
you just say?
immortal?
I don't know.
Whatever.
I got distracted because he said the bowhead whale is immortal, and I'm like, what?
Well, like the Greenland sharks are like 400 years old or some
Right.
shit, and they're blind.
Can you
or-
prove that they die?
How
No,
are these
but
things
like
immortal?
there's like he said, the jellyfish, or not the jellyfish. What you said something. There was some animal that is out there, and lobster. That's it. It just keeps growing until like it either gets killed in the wild, or it can't find a shell or something, or it can't molt correctly. Lobsters' longevity may be connected to its behavior to their DNA. The long chromosomes in the animal cells have special tips on their ends called telomeres. That's wrong. That help protect the DNA. In other words, American lobster cells apparently don't age in a normal way, making the lobsters biologically immortal. And we fucking eat that shit like on sushi like it ain't shit, dude.
Why aren't we immortal?
I don't know. It'd be scary for us to be immortal.
That's incredible.
So if you keep a lobster as a pet, you can make it live forever.
Yeah, I guess so.
And just keep it free of.
If you can run and stable aquariums are expensive, and if you can run a really nice saltwater one, yeah, and if you can, I bet you could do it. Why not? Lobster.
Did y'all see the Lobster movie?
No, I want to. I hear it's really weird. Isn't it about a movie where, like, hey,
it was powerful.
If you die, you get to choose to be an animal or something.
It was basically like, hey, you're gonna commit suicide, right? But you want to give it one last go. Well, all right, we'll do it for you, but here's the contract, and you have to stick to it. And so, like, you go to this program, and you're just gonna live. It's super hard to explain. But basically, if you break the rules, you turn into an animal of your choice, and he chooses lobster.
See, I would choose something gnarly, like why not like a silverback gorilla or something.
They don't live very long, and they have the tiniest dicks.
What about a parrot? Or like
birds live long as
like
fuck.
80 years for some.
Yeah,
some
falcon,
dude. They don't live as long.
A bird of prey. If you're a
all
bird
gas,
of prey,
no brakes, baby.
Baby.
What was that falcon that can hit like 200 miles an hour?
Peregrine.
Yeah, that word.
That would be super wild. I don't know. I don't know what animal I'd pick. I want to pick something that lives for a long time.
A turtle.
A turtle would be pretty dope.
Like one of them tortoises that live to be like 150 years old.
Yeah, that's in like a zoo.
Yep, the peregrine falcon.
Well, I think
speeds of over 200.
Yeah, look at that. It looks like the B-52 stealth bomber.
Look at this thing, dude. Just fucking zooming.
He looks sad over in the other one. He's like, oh, there's nothing in my picture.
Where's my friend? Your friend broke the sound barrier and exploded.
So, speaking of breaking the sound barrier and exploded, have you guys watched The Boys?
Oh, we love.
Fucking
he has not.
need to.
I love The Boys, and
Dude,
I think it's one of the best shows on television. I've seen it all.
It's so good. You haven't watched any of it? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I know. I've been dying. We have had it written on our board for a long time because we've been wanting to talk about it. But Luke, of all people who would actually really enjoy The Boys, isn't watching it. But
I need to read the
shit.
comics too, so I can be a snobby asshole and compare it.
Yeah, I hear it's pretty good compared to the
See,
comics.
I hear it's very different.
I don't want to watch or read the comics. I really don't. Because I've read up about them and everything, and it's just very rapey. It just seems very
rapey.
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh,
like, there's
so
a lot.
they're trying to like cop the Watchmen feel.
Yeah, there's a lot of rape in it. There's a lot of like objectifying the women.
It's really fucked up.
And it's just it gets to the point where the parts that I've seen are just edgy to be edgy. And like I'm not saying I'm trying to be some SJW, and I'm like I'm not watching any of that content, or I don't want to consume any of that content. Blah, blah, blah. But I'm saying like, at least have some substance and value to it, because in the show they bring up like the Nazi thing, they bring up like white genocide, this, that, and the other, and like but it's tasteful. It's not there to be.
It's called white genocide.
It's not there to be edgy. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm gonna blow somebody's head up just to blow somebody's head up, or I'm just gonna say the word fuck just because I need you to hear the word fuck. Like it wasn't there to be like that. Snotty little 13-year-old writing tits and boobs on his desk, like, trying to be edgy. Like, it had value. So the comics, that it just feels like it lacks that. It feels like I said, it's just like just a big boob joke or a big, and I guess because
show's pretty serious.
It's not going to happen in the show, but in the comics, there's at one point this guy Tech Knight. He has a brain tumor, and in his mind, he hallucinates that he has to go. There's a giant asteroid coming to the world, and it's going to blow it up. But the asteroid has a giant vagina, and then Tech Knight has to rape the vagina to save the planet, and he rapes.
That sounds like the boys.
He rapes the asteroid and saves the world. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like it's like a big fart and boob joke, and I'm kind of like, really? It's just like that doesn't do it for me.
You should totally watch the show though. But we're actually reaching the end of our podcast tonight, dude. Thanks for coming on. Would you like to come back on again?
Yeah, that'd be fun
for sure.
I had a lot of fun talking shit with you, man.
Yeah, there was so much stuff we have yet to get to. Unfortunately,
like the
I just got
stories.
Yeah, a bunch of weird shit we could get into.
Pat's got bitty bye.
But I got to go to work tomorrow, unfortunately. But where can we follow you if you want us to follow you anywhere?
I can be found at Not Kid Blazes on Twitter and Instagram, or Kid Blazes on Twitch. It's misleading, but you'll find me.
You should start a podcast, dude.
Should I? Do I have a voice for it?
I think so.
feel like I got a face for radio.
I feel like you'd be good for a podcast.
I need somebody to talk to.
I'll help you out.
I'll
do it with you.
We'll set it up.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, we can do it together. But yeah, thanks for coming out, man. We're gonna do some quick ad reads, and then we're gonna get a picture together, and then set you on your way into the cold. Fantastic. So let me get my shit pulled up.
Loading.
First thing I want to shout out is Hail Dark Aesthetics, our new sponsor, a place where you can get taxidermy records. If you like metal, you like goth shit, go check it out. The owner, Neil, he's the shit. If you can talk to him, you can literally talk to him about anything. They're on 720 Main Street, Covington, Kentucky 41011. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 12 to 7 p.m. and Sunday 1 to 5 p.m. They have a new website coming. They're going to have that info out once that is tested and up. But if you go in there and you just say "Hail Bastard" at the checkout, they'll give you 10% off to any of your checkout items. Don't forget to go check out that place, 720 Main Street, Covington, Kentucky 41011. Luke.
We are also sponsored by Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. If you want to get some super nice quality heady glass for any of your stinky cheese or stinky grass, you want to go on over to Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. They got the best of the best for the best prices. Let me tell you, I am using their gas masks for their stinky cheese.
I love all this stuff.
Dude, I broke it out after a long while. If you guys don't remember, we advertised the gas mask when we first got sponsored by them. I went ahead and got that using the discount that you can get, which is bastard. Go ahead and head up to the
just tell
counter
me you're a bastard.
and just let them know you're a bastard. And you listen to the bastard sermon, and they'll give you a 10% discount. You can go to one of their two locations. One being at 11424 Montgomery Road, Cincinnati 45249, and one at 937 Monmouth Street, Newport 41071. And go get some nice, super sweet, heady glassware.
Our next sponsor is Cody fucking Best at Clifton Barbers. If you go over there and get a sweet haircut, make sure you hit up Cody Best. It's at 337 Ludlow Avenue. They have other barbers there too, but if you go to their Instagram or their Facebook at Clifton Barbers, you can get a link to all of their personal accounts. There's no walk-ins at the moment due to COVID, appointment only, and there's online booking. It's cash only at the moment, and it's 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday. Make sure to hit him up. Cody Best specifically, he's the shit. Last thing as well, Luke, you want to go in?
Yeah, I'll do it. We are also sponsored by the wonderful, the incredible, the long dick wizard,
Daddy Mansfield.
Daddy Anthony Tank Mansfield. We are sponsored by Neil to No One. If you want to go ahead and get some excellent commission work, go ahead and hit him up at KNEELTONOONE.com.
Cody's
Did I do that right?
I don't know. Cody's rolling his eyes hard right now.
For nice glassware, some super comfortable T-shirts. I still wear them to this day, and he gave them to us forever ago.
Kick-ass art.
They're awesome. Kick-ass art. He did some sweet Halloween-themed slabs recently. You can check them out on Instagram at KNEELTONOONE.com. Or KNEELTONONE at Instagram. And go support him. He's fucking great. He's handsome.
He's very handsome.
And talented.
He's very handsome.
Why wouldn't you want to support him?
He's a good, jolly fellow. Last thing I want to shout out is my art page, Dark Mountain Cult. Follow it on Instagram if you want. I just do art about nerdy shit. I'll do art about for anything if you like geometric shapes and shit like that. I love that kind of stuff. I also do T-shirts, and I have other merch too if you ever want to check it out. But yeah, if you like cool art and you want to do some nerdy anime shit or whatever, just hit me up, and I'll love to work with you.
He just did a really cool perfect cell and father-son Kamehameha piece.
Yeah, I just did a whole Dragon Ball 4-piece collage, so I'm gonna be posting that soon. And I sell prints of anything you want. So just if you like something, just hit me up and I'll make a print of it and I'll send it to you.
And the last thing I want to plug is check out our Twitch.
Yeah.
Check out our fucking Twitch. I'm on there. I'm doing polls now, I guess, for what we'll play. Today I did some Mortal Kombat 11 and then threw in some Man of Medan at the end.
That's a good game.
It was a good time. Today was the most active the chat had been so far, and this is like our third time streaming. I look forward to doing more of it.
Yeah, super cool.
We'll do some PlayStation stuff eventually.
Yeah,
Patrick
me
will
and Luke are
join.
gonna do it. Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
We're gonna figure it out eventually. May not get video though, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, that was a good episode. Thanks for coming on, Josh Pancake. You're the fucking man. I love you.
I love you guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, literally anytime, man. Let's have you on again.
What about tomorrow?
I'm not. No.
I'm busy.
Same.
I have to deuce. I have to work late.
I have things.
No, but I think we'll have you on again. Let's do that
For sure, man.
But yeah, till next time, motherfucks.
Peace.
Peace.